to gamble.
No,
It
I was
says
responding
clearly.
to his point, Key, where he said
No, I
it
understand.
goes
No,
on
I get it.
anyway. You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
get it, but that's my whole point is why even do it?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Why even do it? If they say no, just don't.
Not worth it.
Well, I think something's wrong with Jay's mic.
Is it?
Yeah, something's wrong with Jay's mic. But I think when you look at it though, Max, for what it's worth, look, I don't think a year. I think a year is too long.
Right.
Okay, but it could also lead to other things. And
Yeah,
that's
you know,
our
you know
whole
what it's
point.
like, Key. It's like your kids, right? And we all have multiple kids. Okay, like I got 3 girls, and Key, you got 4 kids, and Jay, you got a couple kids right now, and sometimes they're interacting with each other in a way, whatever, and you're like, look. The next person who says anything, right? Even if it's a kid who did it, you
You're
need
mean,
to
Dad.
draw a bright line so that, like, because it starts to slip into a gray area, and you're like, I don't even want it touching the gray area, Jay. So we're going to include the gray area where, is this really bad? We're going to include that inside the line that you're not allowed to come into. I get that.
I do. I just think as we continue to progress, I think you need to look at certain rules and start amending them over time. It's like saying, hey, the Constitution was created back when it was created, and we can't adapt to 2022. As you continue to take billions and billions of dollars from sports gambling websites, and owners are becoming more entrenched in gambling now more than ever because it serves as additional revenue sources for their teams.
But isn't that an argument
But
to
Jay,
draw the bright line since it's going to be here to stay and you want to make sure that you protect that you're in other words in order to coexist
But
with
now we're talking
football
about
and gambling legally you have to draw the bright line.
Yeah,
And I hate to
but
do
the
this
thing
expansive
is,
thing, but it's like, all right, you're talking about protecting the integrity of the game. How about just protecting people? So, like, you have alcohol sponsorships, right? On a lot of planes, they serve a lot of alcohol on planes, on teams. I remember some of our team planes, guys are coming up the plane hammered. Are you protecting the integrity of human life?
But
Like, it's a lot of other conversations where I don't want to take it, but it goes in a lot of different directions where we just focus on this and, hey, we're
well, this is
protecting
the
integrity of the
conversation
game.
though, Jay. They amended the rule with the last CBA to this CBA. They amended it. That's Josh Shaw was part of. Josh Shaw bet on his own team with the Arizona Cardinals. They amended that rule from the last CBA to this CBA. I think when you start talking about things like alcohol and getting on the planes and hammered and things of that nature, they also, teams that I've been on, have instructed us not to drink on the planes. Our coaches would not allow. We did it, but guess what? We also made sure to get car services and not drive home drunk.
Right. I think expanding the argument here, Jay, is not like what it seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, your argument is that the NFL is coming down very hard to enforce a policy that is actually less important than other things that they don't come down as hard on. Number one, that's in the NFL's judgment to make. It's their league, right?
Understood.
Number two, that it may be a valid point. I used to frequently make the point that they choose to test for weed, right, back in the day, cannabis, but they had huge alcohol sponsorships, and all the independent studies said alcohol is comparable, but actually a little worse. So why are you choosing? And people would counter with, well, it's illegal. But there's lots of stuff that's illegal that they don't test for. Why test for this, right? But that's in their judgment to do it.
I understand. That's why I said it goes outside the scope to a degree.
Yeah, it does.
But it's still an argument.
But remember though, once upon a time, cannabis was illegal. It was a problem. They've amended those rules as well since it has basically become legal pretty much in every single state.
Right. So, Jay, do you agree or do you?
Still a long way to go before we get there.
Do you agree that because for the very point you're making, hey, gambling's here, it's part of the game out in the open now. And it's kind of hypocritical for the league to come down. But the other way of looking at it, and I understand this, is no, because gambling is here and out in the open and because there's a business partnership, they need to draw a very strict and bright line around it so that there's no gray area where now players can give the impression that the game is compromised.
Without having a harsh penalty of a year.
No, you have to have a harsh penalty.
I don't think you need to have a harsh penalty as far as a year.
Well, how do you draw the bright line if
because
you
I
don't
think
have a harsh penalty?
you can still do it like a 5 or 6 game suspension while kind of creating more news around, hey, but this is moving forward, this is not going to be tolerated this way.
I mean, the truth is, Key, I agree with that. Like, if it's me, I'm not suspending him for a year. I understand how seriously they take it, but I'd have to look at, like, if he bet against his team to win, if something like that, yep, at least a year, right?
Yeah,
but he didn't.
But I'm going to say it one last time. It's in the CBA. Dan Graziano said the same thing. It's plastered everywhere. You know you're not supposed to gamble, man. You know. So guess what? You are now the poster child for this behavior. It's simple. It's not that difficult.
I
was going
to say,
yes.
then I want the league to draw bright lines around domestic violence and a lot of other things.
No, well, that's a separate.
I can
that's
bring
a whole.
it, like I'm saying before, I can bring this into a really in-depth layer because it opens up a can of worms that I don't think the league wants to go into.
Jay, businesses care about their bottom line.
I hear that. That's about human lives, bottom lines too, though. So
listen. That's a whole other day worth of talking about segments. We're going to tell you about one NBA team, Jay. You shouldn't bet on. If you're playing a top 6 team in the league.
Don't do that
Jay, that's after Jay has this from Grainger.
Just only the month of January. For all the ones who get it done, Grainger is always there to help. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, 24/7 support, free access to product specialists, and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facilities safe and your people safer. So call, click Grainger.com, or just stop on by.
I realize that maybe what I need to recalibrate are my expectations and what we're looking at.
Philadelphia, for me, is probably the team to beat because you're talking about the most potent offensive combination in the league because they completely overwhelm you physically.
This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One and a member FDIC.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person
I'd rather
counts.
not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
The one thing I absolutely did not see coming after the game was Coach K having to apologize. I'm sorry.
I know.
Please, everyone be quiet. Let me just say, it's unacceptable.
Stop cheering. Okay.
Hey, be quiet.
Hey, be quiet.
It's unacceptable what happened just now.
Dan Patrick. 9 to 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually the same from one title company to the next? So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likas with today's Car Clinic Minute. The bucks you peel off for those little rubber rings called tires can make you bounce off the sidewalls. So stick around, because when I come back, some advice on inflating your bank account.
The Car Clinic Minute.
It's Bobby Likas Car Clinic, brought to you locally by Hewitt Tire and Auto.
Call 850-769-7323.
Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
That's 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
To extend tire life and to keep your bank account inflated, remember this anagram, T-I-R-E. T, treadwear should be even. Odd patterns implies over or under inflation, which lowers gas mileage. I, Inflate tires to PSI specified in owner's manual. Air's free at most gas stations, but's like gold in increasing tire longevity. R. Rotate tires every 5,000 miles to increase miles per tire, and make sure you check alignment every time you rotate. And E. Every 4 to 6 years, buy a new set of tires. Even if the tread looks good, rubber breaks down over time. From where the rubber meets the road, I'm Bobby Likas. Like us, you'll love us.
You recycle, right?
Did you know that recycling is one of the most important things we can do for the environment and for the economy? And recycling can help protect our oceans and waterways. Sadly, each year, 8 million metric tons of waste goes into oceans. That's the equivalent of 5 bags full of waste stacked on top of each other and covering every foot of coastline in the world. That much is going in every year. And 6 out of 10 of the most commonly found items in the oceans are fully recyclable. So we need to start recycling more, and we need to recycle right. To get these valuable materials back to the manufacturers to use and to keep them out of oceans and waterways. But let's face it, recycling's confusing. We have a solution, and it's working.
The standardized labels help people recycle more, and they help people recycle right. Let's recycle across America, and let's recycle right.
To learn more about this solution and how to recycle right to protect our oceans and waterways, visit letsrecycleright.org.
Everybody buckle up. Buckle up.
Let's go.
Buckle up.
Can we go to the store? Mom,
buckle
can we get
up.
some ice cream?
Everybody, buckle up.
A lot goes on in the car, but you're in control. So only move when you hear the click that says they're buckled in. Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Podcasts.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays from 9 till 11. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Philadelphia, for me, is probably the team to beat because you're talking about the most potent offensive combination in the league because they completely overwhelm you physically.
Joel Embiid can get 30 sleepwalking. James Harden get 30 sleepwalking.
We're about to see James Harden and Joel Embiid be the best pick-and-roll duo in the NBA.
Even though what we do is wrong, we still hustle till the sun come up. Crack a 40 when the sun go down. It's a cold winter. Y'all better.
Keyshawn, J. Willimax, ESPN Radio, Sirius XM Channel 80. Tim Legler, ESPN NBA analyst with us now, giving you the Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. What's going on, Tim?
What's up? I'm good. What's up, legs? Yeah.
What's up is the Bulls have lost 5 in a row.
What's down?
Like I love playing like fantasy GM in my own head, and I love teams who acquire available players. They're not too expensive. They just put it, and I like the way the Bulls put this thing together. I'm like, ooh, Lonzo Ball, Vucevic. That's as good as you could do for a non-unmovable guy, right? Ooh, I like the Caruso, and they just put it all together. They got a mid-range guy in DeRozan, a long-range guy in Zach LaVine, both with bounce and hops. And what have you seen with the Bulls this year?
You know, earlier this year, I was so hyped on them. I really was. I was excited. And then something happened. The Nets came in. Kyrie just got cleared. Just got cleared. It was one of his first games playing. And they went into Chicago. I don't know if you guys remember this game. It was a national TV game. And they hyped it up. And they got beat by 172 points. And then the next night at home, 2 nights later, Golden State beat them by 40 at home.
Without Lonzo or Patrick Williams, right?
Well, Patrick Williams out. I think Lonzo was playing.
Lonzo was playing.
This is the beginning of the year.
Oh, early in the
season. This is earlier in the year. I'm saying. And for me, those were barometer games. And I kind of went, okay, I kind of get now. I kind of get now where we're at with this team. Now, having said that, I thought last night was another opportunity. Let's see. And you know what? When you watch, the bottom line is this. They don't have enough. They just don't have enough. As good as DeMar DeRozan has been this year, and he has been absolutely sensational, and Zach LaVine is a really good player and a professional scorer in this league, they just do not have enough.
Heat did it to him, too.
They're not on that level. They're not on that level with the other teams that I would label as legitimate contenders. And actually, Boston has now gotten themselves into that conversation. So I think there's 5 teams, and Chicago is just not in that category.
In the East.
Yes.
Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Boston.
Milwaukee. Cleveland, if you want
to.
Miami.
Miami.
There you go.
Victoria
5 teams. Boston became the 5th. I had 4 for a long time. Boston, the way they're playing, you can't deny that they're now at least in that debate. I think Chicago they're just not in that category.
So, Legs, Max and I always try to go down this conversation line with Zach LaVine. What is missing with Zach LaVine? Like, when you watch his talent, it feels like he should be an all-star every damn year. Every year.
MVP, you should, given the talent.
Trending towards that conversation. Yeah. What is missing in your opinion?
2 things, I think, for me with Zach LaVine. I think one of the biggest ones is he doesn't have the escapability with his handle to win any matchup in front of him. Like, when you talk about the other elite players that can lead teams to titles, they have an unstoppable ability to score against anything that's in front of them, certainly, in a one-on-one situation. And the second thing,
Vince Carter-ish.
He doesn't have the ability to beat you with his playmaking. He's not going to beat you that way. Like, if you want to run double teams and get the ball to Zach LaVine on a night, maybe Jamar's sitting, he's not going to pick you apart to the tune of 10, 12 assists where you're getting a bunch of threes, and now you go, okay, we have to adjust now to this, and now he goes and beats you as a scorer again. The elite guys, they're going to beat you that way too, typically. And if they're not going to beat you with their passing, the elite guys, they're going to be so dominant as a scorer, it doesn't matter. Because they're going to win any matchup. And that's the thing. He's close as a scorer to doing that. He just doesn't have the handle, and he's certainly not on that level as a playmaker.
I think that's right on.
When you look at him, though, when you look at him, could it be that with the guys missing in Ball along with Caruso, and when you add them back into the mix, does his game change at all? Or will it still be the same, Leg?
No, listen, it's a good point because he goes back and he gets into his lane that he's comfortable, which is just as a finisher. And that's where he should be. But look, the bottom line with the Chicago Bulls, since January 1st, they are 1-11 against the top 6 teams in either league. You take both conferences, the teams that currently are not involved in the play-in, right? You're 6 or above, you're in a good spot. They're 1-11 against those teams.
What's so interesting about that analysis, I think it's dead on, is Vince Carter was this way too. There are guys like Kobe who could create their own offense because of the handles too, right? And there are other guys that check a lot of boxes, but the bottom line is they can't create their own offense off the bounce the same way because their handles need to be 20% better or something. Maybe that's what it is with LaVine, yeah.
I mean, in their defense, to a degree, Vucevic wasn't playing last night. Now, I still don't think Vucevic would have stopped Joel Embiid, but offensively, it would have been a different matchup for the Bulls other than Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, I look at what the other teams we mentioned on the list that could potentially win the Eastern Conference. There's 5 teams. You just look at the versatility offensively.
Okay, let me make the argument real quick. Let's say they're healthy. Lonzo's the point guard. You got LaVine at the 2 who can shoot the 3, shoot the free throw, and finish at the rim. You got DeRozan, killer mid-range game. Patrick Williams comes back for defense, rebounding, everything else, and he's starting to develop offensively. Vucevic is a do-everything center at a very high level. You got Caruso off the bench. You got Kobe White. Like, you got different pieces. What's their ceiling?
You made me feel like I just sat at home for a PSA for the Chicago Bulls, right? It's like a campaign ad you just did, and my vote's still going somewhere else, right? Like, sometimes you're just sitting on the sofa, and that commercial comes on, and you watch the commercial, but you're like, oh, I already know where I'm voting.
Second round of the playoffs.
Depending on the matchup,
yeah,
they might not get out of the first round. I mean, think about the year that they had, and they might go home early. And look, part of it is because you got a team hovering down in the play-in right now in Brooklyn that potentially could get to the finals, and we won't know until we see that group all together. And will Kyrie ever get to play every night? That could be a team that ends up in the NBA Finals, and they're currently, several spots behind Chicago. So it's just those teams, to me, their ceiling with their best players.
DeRozan is an all-star. He's not Kevin Durant. He's not Embiid. He's not. So he's
Leave
not.
my
Giannis.
team alone, Key.
Tim Legler, ESPN NBA analyst.
No, I did it. Stop.
Thanks, Tim.
Anytime.
As always, Suns are starting to shine. How bright is the future for 2 NFL teams that have been dormant for years? That's next. ESPN Radio, Sirius XM Channel 80.
O'Reilly. If your vehicle squeals or grinds when you slow down or just isn't stopping like it used to, you may need new brake rotors and pads. Now through May 24th at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 15% off a set of Brake Best Select or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors. Restore safe braking and save money now at O'Reilly Auto Parts or order online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
When it matters, companies need more than just a delivery service. Cintas delivers full service and the reliability that comes with having a dedicated Cintas service rep who understands your business, which means they deliver confidence and peace of mind too. For uniforms, cleaning essentials, mats, first aid and safety supplies, and fire protection services, discover the personal attention you get with Cintas. Oh, I'm ready! Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents the madness of college basketball. 68 teams, 32 conference champions, but there can only be one. ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for the NCAA College Basketball Tournament.
Good Tuesday morning. I'm forecasting a weather front to come in today and tonight with clouds and showers and maybe a thunderstorm. There'll be some sunshine today near 77 and about 65 overnight. And it looks like the south wind's about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Water temperature in the Gulf is 68. Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms will continue. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
In 22, the thing to do is reboot the whole family at That Boot Store. With name brand Western wear for the smallest to the largest Wrangler is available at That Boot Store. Need durable name brand Carhartt work clothes at a price you can afford? Stop by That Boot Store. Next to Billboard Kia on 15th Street. Open Tuesday through Thursday 9 to 5, Friday and Saturday 9 to 5:30. Remember Joe's motto, always keep Jesus in your new year.
On the go? Here's some takeout takeaways. Hi, from Samaritan Ministries, I'm Doug Chamberlain with a family health checkup. The days are getting warmer, spring sports are beginning, and you simply don't feel like cooking. So you might be grabbing takeout food more often. Well, here's some ways to keep it healthier, whether you're at your local eatery or hitting the drive-thru. Let's start with my favorite, pizza. Go with thin crust, half cheese, light on the meat, and heavy on the veggies. Opting for a burger? Well, replace the bun for a lettuce wrap or try a veggie burger. Rethink the toppings like cheese, bacon, and condiments. Choose baked over fried and wheat pasta or zoodles over the usual pasta. Have a side salad instead of fries. Request sauces and dressings be served on the side, and focus on veggies, even if that means packing your own bag of celery and carrots. For more, visit us on Facebook or at familyhealthcheckup.org.
Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. You can always find people who are helping. Thank you to all the first responders who put their lives in danger to help us when my brothers and sisters and mom and dad and grandpa and grandma need them.
Thank you, first responders.
This is what I signed up for as a first responder. I am constantly worried about being exposed to this virus and potentially bringing it back to my home and my family. I'm going to continue going to work day in and day out and providing help to those that need it.
We look out for the helpers because they look out for us. Thank you, first responders. Thank you, first responders. Thank you, first responders. Love you.
Be safe, look after yourself, and look after one another. Thanks.
Learn how you can help first responders in your community by texting BRAVE to 24365.
Tracy Lawrence for the U.S. Air Force.
We all have tough choices we have to make. Life just works that way. I remember when I was getting ready to move to Nashville to pursue my dream, I packed my 10-year-old Toyota Corolla with 250,000 miles on it and hit the road. It was a tough choice, but the right one for me. If I decided to take what seemed like an easier road, I never would have achieved my dream. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
The SEC lives here. Powered by Pepsi. WGSX in Haven, Panama City. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get past the people, get past the hit me.
Hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It is Tuesday. Randy, didn't we have a problem in East Callaway right now? Hello? East Callaway fire. What's going on? What's the
I'm trying to get us on the air here.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe it was East Callaway Heights. It's got evacuations going on because of the fire has erupted.
Yeah, be careful out there. Ethan, you driving in from that way. Did you see anything?
I was coming from the beach.
Oh, my bad.
Come on, man.
My bad.
There's so much fog, you can't see it from the beach.
Can't see the fire?
No. I can't,
All right.
can't
Ethan
see
Boyd
anything
is in here every Friday. Jim Barant's in here. I mean, today is Tuesday, every Tuesday. I'm ready for Friday. It's Tuesday.
Hey, I'm ready for Friday too, so come on.
It always smells good in here on Tuesday.
It always smells good in here on Tuesday. Hey, I don't want to jump on down the Aggies' throats, but can we control our players? I mean, he's going nuts about Alabama players, wide receivers getting in trouble, betting money, getting suspended for a year. NFL, Calvin Ridley from the Atlanta Falcons. But you guys have done some bad things also, so I'd like to, I like to bring somebody else into the bad house. I just want to be Alabama players we're talking bad about.
There's a struggle in College Station in the off season. I mean, if you remember, Johnny got arrested.
This is the arrest season.
This is not a one-time thing.
Yeah. We always said the arrest season was after spring football practice. The arrest season starts in June, and June, July. You got to be careful what's going on. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's get into Jim. Since that nasty text you sent me last night, you want to tell everybody what you said
about what?
About Alabama's receivers. Can't
stay out of trouble?
Can't they stay out of trouble? Yes, they can. The guy, what did he do wrong? Tell me what he did wrong.
Okay. As an NFL player, they are lectured every season for hours on end that you can't gamble. It's posted in every locker room in the NFL. James, you can't sugarcoat this. It was stupid. He's making millions of dollars, and he's betting $1,500 bets.
He says, I do not have a betting problem.
With that woman.
With that woman. With that woman, yeah. I did not have a betting problem. He did. He bet $1,500 total, I think over a 5-day period. He's guaranteed $11.16 million for the 2022 season. I don't think that guarantee's out the window now. What do you think?
I don't know how that works, but I wouldn't think he'd get his money.
Yeah. So $1,500 cost you $11 million. Let me say it again. $1,500 cost you $11 million.
I think you lost that bet. I don't know.
Oh my God!
It just doesn't make any sense. Coming driving in here, I'm hearing all these, listening to the radio, and they're talking about, but there's legal gambling, and yeah, that's true. Okay, but the people that are doing it aren't players in that same league. It makes no sense.
Now I think they said he did not bet for or against the Falcons. It was it was some other bet he did.
And he wasn't an active player either, so it wasn't like he was dropping passes or taking a dive. I mean, that part okay. But
tell everybody who we're talking about again.
What's that?
Who are we talking about again?
Calvin Ridley for the Falcons.
Former All-American Alabama first-round pick. I think he was picked like the 20th pick in the draft. I got it written down somewhere. Played for the Falcons. I don't know. No, they didn't. I take that back. But he did this over a 5-day period. He has 3 days to appeal the suspension to the NFL. He will be back in football if withheld to February 15th, 2023. 2023. Have you ever made a bet where you've lost $11 million? Did you bet $1,500 and lose $11 million?
I have not.
He's an A&M booster.
And hey,
that wouldn't bother him.
And they said Pete Rose had a problem.
Yeah. Well, he does not have a problem. $1,500 is really small pocket change for this guy. It's not for us. That'd be a little bit of money. For him, that's just like us spending $1. He's making $11 million a year. I don't know what. He
I'd
was
be
picked.
interested-
He was a 26th pick, first round back in 2018.
Well, if we're going to get like that, Pete Rose never bet against the Reds except when one pitcher was throwing, and when that particular pitcher was starting, he didn't bet.
Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. I like Pete Rose.
Well,
he can play now.
All I can saying about Pete Rose, this is
Pete Rose can play.
Right. Pete's career as a player was over, done and finished when he did all this stuff. Supposedly,
so put him as a player, not as a coach. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, if he had not been managing the Cincinnati Reds, he was just a citizen, he would be in the Hall of Fame right now.
Do we put Pete in or not?
I think he deserves to be. I really do.
What a player, man! I loved him
as a player, and his career was over when.
You even know who he is. You're young. You even know who he is. You should see him play.
I do know who he
Hustling Pete, man. He would run over you. He'd run around. He'd do it all. He was unbelievable.
Even though he destroyed the career of Cleveland Indians All-Star catcher in an All-Star game by running him over at home plate. The guy was never the same. In an All-Star
That
game.
is true, too.
He ran over Ray Fosse.
And he recently died.
Yeah, he did.
Did he really?
Yeah, Ray Fosse.
Within the last year or two, yeah. Sure
Wow,
did.
I did not know that.
But, I mean, Pete never, his career was over. If he had been sitting at home betting, it wouldn't have affected his Hall of Fame candidacy because
isn't that the same
career's
thing?
over.
Isn't it the same thing you just said about the receiver from Alabama? They are preached that every single day. They should know not to do it. He knew not to do it. He did it.
Anyway.
He did it. You know, it's like go stick your finger in that socket over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
I'll
will
show
say,
you.
I know we don't talk baseball here, but this is one thing I do believe. If we're going to start putting the Royd boys in the Hall of Fame, Pete Rose should go in, and so should Joe Jackson. If you can get in doing steroids and cheat the game, then yeah, Joe Jackson and Pete Rose should
That
go.
hasn't happened yet, but I agree with you. I mean,
Don't you believe the steroid thing's been going on for a while? People have been doing it, and some people got away with it, and some didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, well, let me
and
ask
I
you
know
this.
you don't
Let
want
me
to get
ask
into
you
baseball, but David Ortiz did fail a PED test and got into the Hall of Fame. And I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. You sure you want to leave it at that?
Yeah, because I'm a Yankee fan.
He's a Red Sox.
You leave it at that then. No, but what do you think now? I'm listening to all these guys talking about it too. Well, everybody's gambling. Everybody listens to everybody's predictions just to get an edge because everybody's doing it. It's legal. And one thing I will say is about Calvin, he did not do this with a bookie or something like that. He did it legally, and that's how he got caught. That's how he got caught. So maybe he should have done it legally. But anyway, $1,500 for him is absolutely nothing. But I get it, man. You can't do that, and that's what the NFL told him. Said, we can't have it. You can't have it. Integrity of the game is more important than somebody doing what he's done. That was just kind of stupidity on his part, honestly. But
you been in the hospital?
Yeah, my wife had a baby.
Really?
Today?
Last week.
Oh my! I didn't even know.
That's why I missed. That's why I missed.
You didn't tell me. Congratulations.
I was thinking, what is that on his arm?
Oh my God! I didn't even know. A boy or girl?
A boy.
You had a boy.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations. How big?
He's preemie, so he's only 5 pounds, like 5 ounces.
5 pounds. That's what Jim was when he was born. 5 pounds. Look at him now.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I didn't even know she was pregnant. I apologize. I knew you were. I mean, you never missed. Like, what the heck is going on?
Now he's going to ask you, are there any specials at Rudy's because of that?
Any freebies?
Yeah, where's the party?
Any freebies?
Rudy Tooty's room.
Rudy Tooty's room, man. I do appreciate. Did you hear what he named it?
Huh?
You know what he named it?
What?
The baby? James Hale. Can you believe that?
Elvis.
Elvis. You know Elvis? You name the baby Elvis. What'd you name the baby really?
Wade Hansen.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's kind of a southern name.
Yeah,
Kind
that's
of a-
good old
wife-
that's kind of a cowboy name.
My
I
wife
like
creates
that.
all the names.
Well, he is from Texas.
He just kind of help out, huh?
Yeah.
Did she do okay?
Yeah, she's doing good. She's doing
Did
good.
they number up or did she go natural?
Oh, no. No, they give her all the drugs.
Give him him.
Give me the
drugs.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
I
is
ain't
not-
doing that.
yeah.
Drugs.
Oh my God! Anyway, congratulations, Ethan Boyd there is another Boyd in the world.
Yep.
Carry on that name. James Hale Boyd III is here. That's unbelievable, man. I love it. I'm sorry we didn't. If I'd have known, we'd have sent something. We'd have done something. I don't know what we'd done. I was gonna say we sent flowers, but I saw the price of flowers lately. Have you tried it like flowers?
Yeah.
Anything. It's like everything has gone through the roof, man.
Anything.
Thank all you guys out there. Appreciate it, man. Anyway, getting back to the betting. There's no way really you can justify it. I was sort of trying to think, man, is there any way we could spin this where it's not so
But
bad?
he played at Alabama, so it's okay.
Yeah, well.
He didn't know any better.
He didn't.
But I am interested
I like
with
that one.
the change of where things are going with the sports betting. If the NFL, if things start changing on that aspect for players in different sports. I know obviously it's right now it's always been a big no-no. But with the way the world is changing, gambling
everything's
is becoming
legal.
bigger, and sports gambling is a bigger thing now than it was 15 years
That's
ago.
that's like Pelosi going now. All of a sudden, she says we shouldn't be be using the stock market and all this kind of stuff after they become filthy millionaires. Anyway, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's a
so
joke,
I'd
man.
just be interested to see.
But I would never want them to do that because good and well, after the Kansas City lost the game in the playoffs, that next day everybody's going, I think this stuff's rigged. Everything is rigged. So it'd be a bad look if a player's playing in a game and he's betting on a team, especially if he's betting against himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Jim, I don't think that'll ever happen to you.
No.
Of course, I never thought a lot of things would never happen. I really didn't.
Never thought they'd pay players in college.
No, I didn't. I never thought. I thought it was an
Legally.
amateur sport. Amateur sport. It's not anymore. It's professional sport now.
I never thought my wife's little 4-door wagon would cost $60 to fill up.
Somebody sent me a picture on Facebook. They filled their car. It was $112 to fill their truck up.
That's a little 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
60
But listen, y'all don't worry about it. We're going to get the gas prices down. We're going to go to Russia, make a better deal. We're going to go Iran and talk to them, help them get a nuclear weapon and get our gas. And what was the other? Venezuela. So we're okay. We're okay.
We're in good.
It's crazy. You saw stuff you've never seen in your life before. I never have seen what's going on. Of course, you got an 81-year-old white woman doesn't know what she's doing as a speaker. She didn't know what day it is, and you got a president worse than him. Unbelievable. Let's get off this. Y'all got me. Y'all drag me in, get me out of this stuff over gambling. over Alabama receiver getting in trouble. Yeah. Jim, what's something else we were going to talk about? What was it? We had something we were going to say. Oh, what y'all think about Bay District schools versus North Bay Haven? Did y'all even hear about it? Good. I don't want to get into it. That's pretty good. That's something else. Anyway, we hit that a little bit yesterday. That they've been kicked out of the, no county weightlifting, no track.
I don't know. I'm out of the loop, man. I'm retired, so I don't know.
Well, they kept it quiet. It's like the paper did. I don't think it was in the paper. Channel 7 didn't do anything. Channel 13, that's the they got a connection down there. They get on pretty good. Them the school board. So I don't know. It's just crazy. All right, let's talk about something that's not crazy. Ethan, tell us what's going on besides Junior coming. What's going on down at Rudy Tootie's barbecue?
Not just gearing up for.
Have it started to pick up with the spring breakers
a little bit,
yet?
Yeah. We've seen a little bit more traffic. I mean, but I think this weekend obviously we'll start seeing a lot of people.
We've talked to someone and they had just flown into town, and they said the entire flight was spring breakers.
I believe it.
So now this weekend will be okay. Then that following weekend you're going to see a big pickup.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of traffic, and in the summertime you won't be able to get in there. But get out to Rudy's Barbecue. You'll absolutely love it. Gorgeous, 350 seat facility, great staff there. The food's incredible. I know it's barbecue, but I love that turkey sandwich. I love it. It's something about that. J. Michael's Restaurant, one day away from that world famous J. Michael's spaghetti. Go down and have some of the best seafood you can get anywhere. J. Michael Seafood, coldest beer, best seafood on Thomas Drive. Chuck Tucker, we love Chuck Tucker, baby. If you're going to go to closing, who are you going to go? Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing. The big boys use him. Mark Cowart, Beth Movey. Cody Shields. Only the elite use the elite, and he is the elite, believe me. Kind of like Ethan Boyd. Give me that baby's name one more time.
Wade Hanson.
Wade Hanson. Wade Hanson. Wade Garrett. Wade Garrett. You know who Wade Garrett is?
I should. Who's Wade?
Roadhouse.
Oh, yeah.
He was in Roadhouse. He was.
You were in Roadhouse.
That's about my life story. Me and Glenn Manley, bouncers back in the day. No, really. I used to be a bouncer at the Roadhouse, and then they did a movie about it. We'll be right back. We got a phone call. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN North.
Getting deep in here.
No, Wade Garrett. We got it.
Good Tuesday morning. I'm forecasting a weather front to come in today and tonight with clouds and showers and maybe a thunderstorm. There'll be some sunshine today near 77 and about 65 overnight. And it looks like the south wind's about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Water temperature in the Gulf is 68. Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms will continue. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. 7 losing seasons in 9 years. If Yankees, Red Sox, 7 losing seasons in 9 years, what would you say? Some issues upstairs. It can't all be coaching because you would have fired multiple coaches. It can't be all players because you'd have moved off players in 9 years. Kobe and LeBron, biggest brand easily. Does anybody want to talk about that?
This is The Herd.
Weekdays 11 to 2, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
At Slim Chickens, craft means something. Craft means bacon. And oh, so crispy. Craft means a good cayenne kick and all-natural buttermilk marinated, made fresh, perfectly fried chicken. All served on toasted brioche buns. At Slim Chickens, craft means quality. And for a limited time, try our new Memphis-style barbecue chicken sandwich. Try Slim's Craft Sandwiches today. Slim Chickens. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida are proud members of the Panama City Beach Chamber. We'd like to welcome the newest members to the Beach Chamber.
BNI of Northwest Florida, Central Maloney Incorporated, Hardy Custom Home Builders, LLC, Hensel Phelps, Labor Ready to Go, LLC, and Uniquely Made.
Congratulations from the area's only sports radio station, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Who will be this year's Cinderella? The Madness starts March 13th. Listen exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Have a quick stretch first.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now let that sucker play there, baby. There you go. And we're back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. High school baseball, absolutely love it. We have got some great teams here in Bay County. This is going to be a great year for Bay County baseball. We got a great coach on the phone with us now, Coach Coughlin, Rutherford High School. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great this morning. How are you doing?
We are doing outstanding. Great job. I hear you're doing a wonderful job over there. We talked to you last Tuesday. Tell us what has happened in 1 week Rutherford baseball.
Well, since last Tuesday, we won 2 games, so we got a short little winning streak going, and we beat Cottondale 1-0 on Thursday, and then we went over to Bay and beat them 17-7 on Friday. So things are looking up right now.
Tell you what, man, you got it rolling over there. Great job. 17-7, beating the big rival game. That was a huge rival game. Talk about that game. Tell us who played well, who had the hot bats, who was pitching well for you.
Well, on Friday, as you know, we had the wildfires in our area. So a couple of our guys were actually affected by that. So we were a little short-handed going into the game. And we had about 11 guys that were available. And our first baseman actually got in a collision, and that put him out. So we were at 9 or 10, and it was just a total team effort. We had been striking out a lot at the plate, and we were doing that early in that game. We were down 3-1 going into the third inning, and then the at-bats just turned around. We started putting the ball in play. And as you know, when you put the ball in play, good things tend to happen.
Give us some names, some of the guys that are playing well for you.
We had, actually, you can go on News Herald and vote for senior Josh Aguon as the player of the week. He had an amazing week. On the mound, he threw 8 1/3 innings, gave up no runs all week. And he threw a complete game shutout at Cottondale. And then we had senior Mark Miller, who's been hitting right in the cleanup spot for us. He's been tearing the cover off the ball. Connor Ward, his on-base percentage is up there near 750. He's been getting on base and at the top of the lineup. Senior Noah Johnson, he has been behind the plate for us, just catching his butt off, and really just a team effort last week.
Man, now against Cottondale, you had a pitcher go 8.5 innings, and they had a shutout.
Well, we had he threw an inning and a third on Tuesday, and then he went the complete 7 on
7.
Thursday.
Wow, that's incredible, man. That's outstanding. How do you? I was going to ask you something too. When you got 2 or 3 games every week like that, give everybody out there a rundown. Say you're playing Tuesday, and what days mainly do y'all play? Mondays, Fridays. What's the main days you got games scheduled?
Usually Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. That's what we have this week. Last week we played on Monday.
Okay. Let's go back to Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You got 3 games in a week, or either 2. How do you handle practice? You give them off Saturdays. If you're going to work Monday through Friday, give everybody out there that's never played, that's listen to us now, the days you work really hard at practice, and do you back off some when you get later into the season?
So I think for this week we had a practice yesterday on Monday, and the Mondays are really big. We gave them the weekend off, and Monday we kind of got to just get them right back rolling. We had a pretty tough practice yesterday, a lot of repetitions, just get back in that groove that we were in to end last week. And then we'll play tonight on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we might take it a little easier. Maybe work on something we struggled in the game with during Tuesday night's game, but Wednesday we'll go a little lighter on the arms, keep them fresh for Thursday and Friday when we play.
Now, do you feel like you're pretty strong at pitching? You got enough pitchers to have a pretty good year?
Yeah, we've had some guys step up. That's been a pleasant surprise, and I think when we got all our guys rolling, we definitely have enough depth to have a successful season.
Yeah, and Rutherford's been down, and you got him playing really well right now. How many? We talked about a little bit last week. What's your overall record right now?
We're 3-2 now.
3-2, 2 wins this week. All right, you got a pretty young football. You got a pretty young baseball team. I mean, I don't think you have a JV team this year, correct?
Correct, we do not.
Okay, does that concern you whatsoever, or are you just playing all these young guys on the varsity?
We're playing all of them on the varsity. It does. I mean, in an ideal world, we'd have a JV team, but I mean, our mentality all year is we got what we got. All we need is 9 to play, and whoever gets their name called, we have full trust in them, and we expect them to get the job done.
All right, give us one more time. Tell us who your district competition is.
So our district, we go Tallahassee. There is McClay and Florida High. There is Mariana. We had North Bay Haven and right down the street, Pensacola Catholic, and Walton High School.
Okay. Well, I don't want to pull you into this, but maybe we read this thing wrong, but I heard that North Bay Haven's out of the district. Are you guys going to be allowed to play them in baseball this year?
I have not heard, actually. That is news to me. We play them on Friday, so.
Okay.
I'll let you know if I hear anything on that.
Yeah, and I don't want to pull you into any of that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
Hopefully, I'm hoping that they get back together and everything's worked out, but we'll see as it goes on. All right, Coach, man. Hey, who you got? Give us your rundown next couple games. Do us one more time. Where the game's being played? What time?
Tonight we have South Walton at home at 6 o'clock, and then we go on Thursday. We're hosting Arnold at home at 6 o'clock, and then on Friday we have North Bay Haven at the Panama City Beach Sports Complex.
So you got 3 tough ones in a row. Give us a little breakdown on South Walton. What do you know about them?
We played them last year. They had a lot of young guys playing for them last year. They're really fundamentally sound, and I expect those young guys got a lot better. So we got to bring it tonight. We got to bring it every game. So hopefully we're ready for them tonight.
Now, as far as these fires and stuff like that, you all pretty safe over there? You heard anything about any kind of cancellations, anything like that?
No, we're worried about the game on Friday, but the guys wanted to play. We had enough to play, and the guys that were worried about their houses and their families, they actually ended up being okay and dodging a bullet there. So we're thankful for that, and hopefully they get put out soon.
All right. Then you got Arnold and then North Bay Haven. Arnold is tearing it up right now, 5-0. They've got some really good pitchers. I don't know if you've seen them yet this year. They're really good. And North Bay Haven, I understand, has got a really good baseball team this year also. Give us a little rundown on both those schools.
Yeah, Arnold, we played them in the fall, and they are loaded. It'll be definitely a good test for us to see where we're at in comparison to them. And Friday, same thing, North Bay Haven, they got a new coach in there. We played them twice in the fall. They got things rolling in the right direction, it seems. So every game we got to come ready to play. There's not many off games here around these parts.
Yeah, I tell you what, you're doing a great job. You're limited number of players compared to everybody you're playing against. Most of those teams have JV teams, have large rosters. You're building the program back. And for being 3-2 right now, that's outstanding. Congratulations on that. What about next week with spring break? What's your guys' game plan for next week?
So next week, spring break, we only have one game. We play in Weehawken on Monday.
Okay.
And then we'll have the rest of the week off game-wise. Haven't decided if we're going to practice or not yet, but we'll see about that. Depends how they play this week.
All right. Well, next Tuesday now, we're going to be off, so we won't call you next Tuesday. We'll call you the following Tuesday.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, keep it up, Coach. Congratulations on your wins. I know you got 3 tough ones coming this week. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you a week from Tuesday, okay?
All right, sounds good. You guys have a great day.
Thank you, buddy. Coach Coffin does a great job. I mean, Jim, that's tough, man. You don't have a JV team. The numbers have been down there for a while. That part of the county's kind of died off since the hurricane and everything like that. But the base coming back, it's going to get back there. But that's a tough situation, man. You're going against some of the best teams in the state.
Yeah. Yeah, South Walton and Arnold and
North Bay Haven's got a good team, yeah.
North Bay Haven. Yeah, those are 3 good programs right there.
And then you look at Bozeman, you look at Mosley, Bay. They beat Bay 17-7. And speaking of Bay, I have not got up with Coach yet, trying to. I don't know what the deal is. He talked to Randy, said, I guess it's not going to be a good time to get up with him. But we got an opening for Bay if they want to come on and be part of this. But anyway, we'll have Coach Thursday. We got Hudson coming on Friday. We got Bozeman coming on. High school baseball, Texas, pretty big.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty big here. We're really good in baseball in Bay County. I know you're new there. We used to be really good in football.
Well, you said Arnold's really good. Actually, one of their pitchers works for me, or did work for me. He's taken off from the season, but
Wait a minute.
I learned a little bit about how this baseball works in Bay County.
Did y'all have a NIL deal with him?
I might have given him a Rudy Sacker too. So
yeah, good. Y'all will be taking care of those. Hey, if you live on Panama City Beach, we got a really good baseball team. We need to take care of those guys, man. We need to have a fundraiser at Rudy Tootie's and have a big dinner and everything else.
Should we invite you for that? Or?
Yeah, heck yeah. I got to give them some money. They're doing great over there. Anyway, high school baseball here is big. I know it's real big in Texas, but we're really good. The coaches over at Bozeman and Mosley are unbelievable. They've won championships. Coach Jones is doing an unbelievable job at Arnold. Moss, man, I'm telling you, Cooper Moss is doing unbelievable. Oh, Coop's tearing it up. He's up for the Player of the Week as a freshman. And then all the other guys. Coach Starr does a really good job at Bay. Coach Coffin's doing a great job at Rutherford. We've got really good baseball coaches and really good baseball teams here. We got the very top, the defending state champs. Now, where you grew up, did y'all ever have a state championship baseball team?
We did. There's a little stretch there where they were in the state playoffs, the top 4 teams, and they lost the championship game, won championship game, and then the next year they lost in the semifinal.
Wow.
So 3 years back to back.
I was hoping you'd say no.
No. We're a little bit smaller town, but baseball was really big for us.
Yeah, baseball and football is really the king.
Yeah.
Hey, before you do any your little commercials there, Manley posted online the other day that he shot a 71 at Bay Point. He wanted to shoot his age, which is 73. He said, I thought he was 78, but Manley said he shot a 71, which is under par. Can you believe that? Glenn Manley.
It doesn't matter what you shoot, it's who's keeping the score.
Well, that's true. I don't know if it was him keeping score or Conrad Moon keeping score.
Conrad's honest now.
Conrad's honest. What are you saying? Manley's not honest?
Conrad's honest. Conrad is. No, you know what? I think Glenn could do it. I've heard he's an unbelievable golfer.
He must. If that's true, if that's verified, that's pretty impressive.
I believe it. Glenn Manley can do anything. I truly believe that. Just like I believe in Buffalo Rock. I believe in Chad, Beth, and TJ. They do an incredible job. Thank you so much for giving back to this community. Let's make sure we give back to them. If you're out doing any kind of parties, get together for March Madness. By the way, you can listen right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Starting on when? When's it start, Jim Bob? When does March Madness start?
Probably another couple weeks.
Yeah, Sunday is the.
I want to say the 13th. It was written down. I don't see it.
Yeah, I didn't write.
Should be a week from today.
Yeah.
The playing games be a Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, SEC is getting cranked up Wednesday. So anyway, make sure you buy Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Buffalo Rock products. They're unbelievable. And again, we've got Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. You'll absolutely love it. Just like Bay Point Golf. Two great companies come together and put together a great event. Didn't you enjoy doing that?
Oh, yeah. I got another one in April.
At Bay Point?
At Bay Point.
Yeah, Ryan Moe is incredible. We'll be right back. 104.3 FSU coming up. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus, more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right, he has over 30 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within 2 business days, so don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into new settings and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 45 years.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
I'm Matt Glover with Aero Pest Service, and we are your family-owned and operated pest control company in Bay County since 1977. We can help you have a lawn that you can enjoy with your family. We can get rid of all the insects that destroy your parties. We can get rid of the weeds that give you anxiety, and we can fertilize your lawn and make sure that it's completely green and healthy, just the way you like it. Give us a call today at Aero Pest Service, 850-874-1900.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Our Florida State update is brought to you by all the newbies on Newbies Dive. I saw Big John yesterday. That sucker's looking good, man. I'm telling you, he's looking really good. Pumping in weights, playing racquetball, living the life, the American dream. The former Miami Hurricanes super stud football player. Yeah. Married a gorgeous blonde here in Panama City Beach. Charlotte is a wonderful lady. They do a great job with all the newbies. Newbies 2 on the Curve. You can watch all the March Madness you want to. It's been remodeled. It's gorgeous in there. Wade Garrett got into a lot of fights at Newbies getting ready for that movie, Roadhouse.
Yeah.
So you knew that it was filmed there.
Yes.
Roadhouse was actually filmed. You know, Glenn, I think, directed that movie. Glenn
I thought
Manley.
it was filmed in Hattiesburg.
It was. It was. It was. At the end, there was me and Blaine. Yeah. I was Wade Garrett. Blaine was the younger guy. What was the other guy's name? Wade Garrett was the guy, but who was the main?
He doesn't
actor?
even know what movie you're talking about.
I mean, it's Patrick Swayze, but
yeah, but what was his character's name?
Oh man,
What was
I
his
have no
name?
idea. That's not one of my all-time favorites.
Oh my God, that's a great movie. That was a great movie. Roadhouse. Make sure you watch it. You'll absolutely love it. Wade Garrett, Dalton. Thank you, Jeff Skipper. Yeah. Dalton. Hey, call me Dalton. I'm Dalton from now on. Anyway, what is? If we're lying, it was not filmed at Newbies. It was not. John get mad at me for saying that. But anyway, what you got for FSU today, Big Jim?
All right, I looked up their future non-conference opponents for the next up till the year 2030.
Roll
All
Tide.
right, for 2022, we already talked about the other day. They have Duquesne, LSU, and Louisiana. Plus, they always play Florida, so I'm not going to include them. They always play them.
Right.
Next year, 2 years, 2023, they play LSU again in Orlando, and then they play the Southern Miss Golden Eagles.
To the top.
And
to the top, baby.
We heard that you're going to be like a motivational speaker.
I'll flip the coin. Is it played in Tallahassee, I'm sure?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You're also going to ride the horse out and throw the spear?
No, I'll tell you what Julie did. We played Florida State back in, 78, 79, one year in the 70s in Tallahassee. And they went out and poured water on the spear. And they got in all kind of trouble. Cheerleaders got in all kind of trouble. The president of the university talked to the coach, talked to the girls, and they got in all kind of trouble. They
can't take a joke. Is that what you're saying?
Our own people got on to us because that was the wrong thing to do. It showed lack of class. You just don't do those
You're
things.
for Southern Miss.
You know what the sad thing about Southern Miss is? The greatest football player to ever go there never played a game. Marcus Dupree.
hey, they had Brett Favre, James Hale, and Ray Guy.
I was the worst.
And
They had the best player, and at the bottom said the worst scholarship ever given. They had a picture of me down there.
So
Could not stay healthy.
So the coaches were saying, who gave Hale his scholarship?
I think they fired the guy.
Who recruited him?
Actually, it was Pete Jenkins. Pete Jenkins gave him his scholarship. Go ahead.
Let's go on.
Right.
And then in 2024, they played Notre Dame, at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Memphis and Charleston Southern. In 2025, they play Alabama.
Where at? Is that gonna be the first one's in Tallahassee, I think.
Yeah, I think it's in Tallahassee. Yeah, because then I say, and in 2026 at Alabama and Notre Dame.
Ooh.
So that's some two pretty.
And
good
you got
ones.
Florida at the end of the year.
Yeah, and Florida,
Wow.
plus the ACC schedule too.
Yeah.
2027 they got Georgia.
Dang.
2028 they got Georgia and Florida again. 2029 they got Notre Dame and Florida, and 2030 they got Notre Dame and Florida. So they've got some
good schedules. Good.
Yeah.
That's good home games now.
They've beefed it up a little bit.
I will say again, we had already got through playing. I'd already been through playing. I was coaching out at Lake Wells, and we played. Reggie Carter was our quarterback. We played FSU in Tallahassee. We beat them 58-14. 58-14, and they were ranked. It was on TV. It was on ABC. The regional game, not the national game, regional game. But they had beaten us really bad before, and our Coach Collins remembered that, and they didn't let up on Bobby. And Bobby didn't care because Bobby did the same thing to everybody. He said, that scoreboard's I'm only responsible for half of it.
Right.
So we put them on them in Tallahassee, and there's people around here that remember that. I want to say it again. We spanked them 58, I think, to 14. They couldn't stop us.
How many touchdowns did you score?
I was coaching high school football at the time.
Oh.
I was already gone. As you know, we got better after we left. Some of us became a lot better football player after we left. Anyway, Reggie Carter tore him up, man.
Yeah, Reggie Carter tore a lot of people up.
It went into Tuscaloosa and did the same thing. But that schedule, Florida State, I love that, man. And people don't realize that they have every year they got the ACC. They play then they got Florida at the end of the year.
Right.
And we're talking about Florida's usually really good. And I do think Billy Napier's going to get Florida back to the top. I really do.
I'll be honest. I was kind of impressed. So in the next, between now and 2030, they're going to play Notre Dame 4 times.
Yeah. Notre Dame just should
going to play Alabama twice. Going to play Georgia twice. Going to play LSU twice. So,
yeah.
Plus you got Clemson, Virginia Tech, who in the past has been pretty good. And Miami, is all accounts, is supposed to be a lot better. So we'll see.
Just think that 1 year they got Florida, Miami, Alabama, and probably, I'm sure, Clemson.
Yeah.
So that's if you got home tickets for those games, you're in pretty good shape. I hope they don't have them all. It'd be better if you had like Miami on the road and have Florida at home instead of both of them. I think they do that. I think they got.
I would think so.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a lot of things going to happen at Florida State. Coach is going to get it done, or if he doesn't get it done, will we see the man that can get it done?
Who, Dion?
I think Dion, the way he recruits, I kind of laughed at him I didn't think he'd put the time in, being the superstar he is.
but he has put the time in, and the way that guy recruits, he's known nationally. He gets to one of these big-time jobs, I think he's going to do a great job. I really do. I truly do think he'll do something.
Yeah, I think.
But I think we got the coach right now. I think the coach there is Norville's going to do a really good job. I don't worry about him.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell.
Ethan, what do you think? You think Dion can get it done? I do.
What, you mean Norvell?
Well, I think Dion could get it done in a big-time program because, you know, like me, a lot of people thought he's got all the money in the world. He's famous. He didn't need to put this type of amount of time in and work his tail off to be a head coach in college football. But he's shown he is doing it, and he's shown how he can recruit. What he's done at Jackson State has been crazy. You imagine, I tell you right now, I'd love to see him at Southern Mississippi. I mean, he's just down the road in Hattiesburg, and he would win there. If he gets one of these big-time schools in the ACC, SEC, I think he'd be unbelievable. I really do. He already said he's not going to coach in the NFL. He didn't want to deal with it. Yeah. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I think it'd just be a lot of it too. How does he set up his structure of his, his organization and all the coaches and stuff like that?
He played for Bobby Bowden, Nicky Andrews. It's not like he doesn't know football.
Right.
He knows
he
these
definitely
things.
knows football.
Yeah. And recruiting wise, my God, he walks in your house. Everybody in the world knows who he is.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting to Norvell, I think he's done a great job.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like the make or break year. I think he's on the hot seat, but I think he's gotten his players in, and I think they're starting to kind of buy into what he's wanting to do. And I think obviously last year the quarterback situation was a tough one at the beginning of the year, but I do think the second half it kind of set the tone for this year. I think the second half of last year.
I think he's too addressed the big deal that they've had for a long period of time, offensive line. It seems like finally they got some good sized offensive linemen. How they perform, we don't know yet. But if the O line gets it done up front, you're gonna have a lot better football team. Yeah. Everything's won on both sides of the front. Defense line, offensive line. That's where you got to be good at, and hopefully they will be.
Yeah, if he gets that that Florida speed back on defense, I think that'll play a big game too.
All right. Hey, I cannot wait. I know it's week 2 for them, but it's week 1 for LSU. The game's going to be played in New Orleans. New Orleans is up. I talked to some people who'd been down there for partying and stuff. Blaine Burnett's wife, Diane, was down there, met one of their former college roommate. They met down there, and she said now they're not even really asking about your vaccine card or anything. You just can kind of walk in most places. There's no mask and everything. So that's a great thing that the mayor there is going to open everything back up. That football game, all those people from Tallahassee or from FSU and all those people from LSU on Bourbon Street, that'd be crazy. It's going to be like a big, huge bowl game. And what I love about it, it's going to be on Sunday, the only game being played that day. That's going to be huge. So you can watch all you want to watch, all the other great teams you want to watch on for Saturday. Then on Sunday, LSU, Florida State. I don't know. I guess LSU's the home team, so they'll probably be wearing their white.
Right.
And then when they play, now they're not going to play in Tallahassee. They're going to play in Orlando.
Yeah, they're going to play in
Orlando.
No, Orlando.
Yeah. See, I don't like that. Anyway, I'm glad they're playing New Orleans, though. We're going to try to go to that football game. I imagine tickets will be pretty expensive for that one.
Won't be as expensive as the final ticket for Coach K's game at Duke, $5,300. Did you see that?
Yeah.
$5,300 for
he did a great job.
Can you believe they lost that?
But he handled it really well. You see his speech after. He did a really good job with his family.
I teared up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty sad that he lost by that much.
I know.
Yeah.
Can you guys come back next week?
Have you been to a big game in the Superdome, New Orleans?
No, I've never been. I've never been in New Orleans ever.
Oh, my God, have you been?
Y'all
have got to go to a big. Texas A&M gets to a bowl game there, especially if it's a playoff game, something like that.
Yeah.
That is the best bowl game environment anywhere because everybody's right down there at the French Quarter, Bourbon Street. Everybody's together, both fan bases. You see people everywhere, and it's so excitement. We've done a bunch of them, but there's nothing like it. I remember back in 92 or 93, it was Miami and Alabama playing for the national championship. Unbelievable. Same thing with Alabama, Clemson over the years, Alabama, Oklahoma. Yeah. It's been some great. You got to go.
Yeah.
To me, it's the best bowl game out there because everything's right there together. All the functions are right there down in the French Quarter around that area. It's unbelievable. This is going to be big, man. LSU, Florida State's going to be cool. Hey, get out to all the newbies. Have a wonderful time. The best bands in the Southeast every Friday and Saturday night. Now they got outstanding food there, too, so you don't have to leave and come back. It's right there at the mothership. Newbies, too, on the curve to watch all the March Madness. Big John and Sharp do an incredible job there. Also, don't forget about Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road. They have great facilities there. I love everybody's dressed the same. They work extremely hard. It's first class. They do a great job. You can buy it for $19.95. It's a whole month. You can get it washed as many times as you want. After the second car wash, it's already paid for itself. Great deal they got going there. Dr. Ward, I have him in here tomorrow. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, please don't put it off. Go see Dr. Ward. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yes, sir.
Good Tuesday morning. I'm forecasting a weather front to come in today and tonight with clouds and showers and maybe a thunderstorm. There'll be some sunshine today near 77 and about 65 overnight. And it looks like the south wind's about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Water temperature in the Gulf is 68. Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms will continue. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. Why don't we talk about wide receivers' hand size? Like, they have to catch it. Like, doesn't that seem important? We're hand shaming today. Yes, Tom.
And you could argue even a running back's hands when you're tucking it in. You want to punch that ball out of his hand. He's got these little teeny mitts corralling the ball. Seems like you would want to have a nice thick hand holding on to that.
Thank you, Tom.
Dan Patrick. 9 to 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
If aliens showed up tomorrow and said, take us to your leader, you'd bring them to the Coach James Hale Show.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What movie? What movie? You know what movie it was?
Saw him in concert.
And we're back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We got a caller on the phone. I think we know who this is. Good morning.
Morning, Coach. How's it going?
We are doing great. Is this the legendary Jeff Skipper?
This is Jeff Skipper. I don't know about legendary. But
Oh, my God. Can you hear him?
No.
Talk a little louder, Jeff. We can barely hear you.
Okay, how about that?
That
a
is-
little bit louder?
That's better.
That's a little better.
That's better. What's going on, big guy?
Oh, not much. We just finished up the Wrestling State Championship this past weekend in North Florida, and Bay County had some guys go and some girls go, and it was a pretty good deal.
Well, who did well? Give us some names.
All right. Well, from Mosley, we had Derek Williams. He placed 5th overall, and then we had Nick Haka, who is the guy that broke all of Richie McClanahan's records. He placed 3rd. He had just a real tough kid in his semis that ended up winning it. And so those guys wrestled hard for us. Corbin Cherry from over at Bay High, he went down there and battled hard. And Romero Black from Bay battled hard. North Bay Haven, David Machado, he placed 4th overall. So there was some good wrestling coming from Bay County, but the history was made that we had the first ever sanctioned girls wrestling tournament this weekend, and Mosley brought home 2 state championships there.
Wow. Talk about that. That's pretty incredible.
And it was pretty incredible to be a part of that. Valerie Solero was our 100-pounder, and she was the first girl to ever win a state championship in girls wrestling because she was a 100-pounder. Her first match, she pinned everybody in the first period. Her first match lasted approximately 7 seconds, and then she went on to pin her way through. And then Emily Haynes, who was our 170, she had a broken collarbone earlier this year, rehabbed it, came back, and ended up winning the state championship at 170 pounds.
Wow, now Jeff. Are you coaching boys and girls, or just the boys?
Yes, sir. Right now, it hasn't kind of been. I mean, this was the first year that they actually had a postseason for girls, but the girls compete with the boys throughout the year, and then they divide them up at the end, which is really, really cool. So, yes, sir, I coach them all.
Wow, that's got to be incredible. So, so the practice now you said you have them going against each other, and then you separate them.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. We go against each other. A matter of fact, Valerie, our 105-pounder, she this year beat 20, 30 boys, and then her only losses were to boys, but she only lost like 4 times this year, and that was to boys. And one of them was one of our guys in a tournament, so that was kind of cool. But then Henley, like I said, she was recovering from a broken collarbone, and she ended up being 18-0, but she only wrestled girls through the end of her season because she came back so late. But to have 2 girls and the first ever, being a history teacher and all of that, just really, really cool to have 2 young ladies that made history.
That's unbelievable. Mosley High School getting it done again. Well, I tell you what, you got a great athlete director over there and principal. So that's, they were smart to get you on board. Let me ask you this. You've done it for a long time. You did an unbelievable job at Arnold. You got out of it for a while. You're back doing it now. What's the competition like? Was it better back in the day, or is it still pretty good right now?
Well, I mean, I think that it's getting better. I mean, it's one of those things that you've got some young coaches in it that are very passionate about it, like Zane, who's over at North Bay Haven. He's young, passionate guy. Jared Melvin over at Rutherford, young, passionate guy. I remember when I started, I was the young, passionate guy. Now I'm the guy with gray hair. But they're working hard, man. Everybody's working hard. I think that more and more people are wrestling now than ever before, and hopefully, we years ago when we had middle school wrestling, I think that greatly benefited us, and hopefully we'll get that back. I know that there's some people on the school board that are really, on the same page with me on that, and just to get some better facilities and things like that. But I can tell you, I'm at a great school where our athletic director and our principal, actually, really care about the program and making things happen. So that's a good thing. I know Mr. Bullock texted me on Saturday and said, "Hey, Coach, why didn't you tell me that our girl won state?" And I said, "Well, because we're not finished winning yet." So Henley won in 170, so I was glad about that. that worked out well for us.
Well, let me ask you this.
And again,
you did a great job at Arnold, and you had that club. Matter of fact, I think Eric Baker sponsored that thing. Are you doing anything like that at Mosley with the younger kids, having that club coming in at night?
Well, yes, sir. We have what's called our Dolphin Nation, and then what I'm doing now, because I actually teach at Mowat, I've talked with our principal there, and we're going to definitely do a club and do some stuff there to try to develop a feeder program. So that's the plan. Right now. So hopefully that goes the way we need it to go. So
yeah, that paid off big time for you. Yeah.
Oh yes, sir. Just like at Mosley, I'm kind of like you as a coach, smart enough to surround myself with good coaches and then take credit for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It works every time. It works every time. I'm telling you.
And, I had great coaches out there. I had great coaches, here at Mosley. Funny story though. You mentioned the Back in Black program we had. I was down at Clay County at a tournament a couple weeks ago, and this big 220 kid started talking to me, and he said, "Hey, Coach Skipper," and I had no idea who he was, and he says, "It's me, it's Garrett," and I'm like, "Garrett," and then I realized he was like a 7 or 8 year old that used to wrestle in our club. Well, he was the last of the Back in Black kids, and he won the state championship this year at 220 for Clay High School.
Unbelievable.
And I don't know if you remember Paul Patterson's uncle David. That was really so helped me with everything there. He had coached that kid, and he was actually on the floor there. And so I have a picture of him hugging Paul when Paul placed, and then I have a picture of him hugging this kid because Paul was the first kid that he coached, and then this kid was the last kid. So I mean, it was really, really cool.
Wow. Well, Coach, don't hang up. Randy's going to get some information on you. We're going to give you a $25 gift certificate from Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. It's outstanding. You'll love it.
Okay, thank you, Coach, and I appreciate you guys having us on.
All right, don't hang up now. He's got to get some information from you. Come by and pick up your thing, and if we can help you any way, let us know, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jeff Skipper. Jeff did a great job at Arnold getting that program. You know, Eric and Laura, they sponsored all that stuff. That they go in there.
I forgot that all those bakers are wrestlers.
Yeah, they were good. They were something else. Kobe, Coach James went all over the world and did that stuff. It was unbelievable what he's done. They're good athletes in that family. Baker Mayfield, did you hear about this? They're going to put up a statue of him over at Oklahoma. Do y'all have any of that at A&M? Do you have John David Crowe's statue out front? Do you really?
Yeah, John David Crowe, and then I think they're building.
Is he the only Heisman Trophy winner A&M's ever had?
Johnny.
You need to build one for Myles Garrett.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, no, he's.
You know who Myles Garrett is?
Yeah, Dalton beat him up in the Roadhouse.
Yeah, okay.
You don't mess with Dalton. No, really.
Him and Johnny are the only two.
Okay. Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel.
He came into Tuscaloosa and
he won the Heisman playing you guys.
Yeah, he did. He fumbles the ball, turns around, picks a bale of cotton, throws a touchdown pass. Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, he was unbelievable. Johnny football was. Even when we came back the next year and played y'all out there and beat y'all, he still was unbelievable in that game.
Yeah, when
he did some things in that game, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. He ran in circles about 30 yards, throws the first down. I'm like, we can't stop him. We couldn't stop him.
He had great receivers, too. That Mike Evans was plays for the Bucs. And he was pretty good, too.
Now, Baker Mayfield, the quarterback Heisman Trophy winner, is going to have a statue. They're going to honor him on April 23rd, the spring football game. Mm-hmm. And back in 2017, he tore up college football, 4,627 yards passing, 43 touchdowns. Again, unbelievable. They won the Big 12. They get in the playoffs and get beat. Is that the team that went into Columbus, Ohio, and he put the flag down? Was that the team?
Yes, that's him.
Yeah. Y'all got him back for that, didn't you?
They beat him the year before.
Yeah. So anyway, we got Andy Burcham coming up at 8:15. All you need to know about the Auburn Tigers. We got Alabama coming up at 8 o'clock. It was good hearing Jeff. Have you seen Jeff lately?
No, I can't tell you the last time I saw Jeff Skipper.
Yeah, Jeff did a really good job for us. He coached a lot of years over at Arnold. And I tell you what, man, them Lee boys, they do a great job. Ernest T. Bass, Doug, they do a great job. I miss Chris. I miss Chris. We would go to coaching clinics. We have a good time with Chris Lee. He was something else. Anyway,
he's been at Mullet a long time now.
Done a great job. Herb Street, man, Kurt, the guy. We told you this might happen. Now he's not going. Everything we've heard, he's not going to leave ESPN Game Day, and I hope he does. I love him. I hope he stays there forever. But Amazon's got the big money, and he's going to do a deal with Amazon. He's going to call Thursday night NFL football games that Amazon's going to cover. Yep. Amazon is who we wanted to be with the SEC. They got enough money; they can do anything they want. And I think the Big Ten is going to make a lot more money in the SEC. I think we pulled the trigger too quick. I really do. And I think it come back and hurt us. How much time we got? Oh, it's time to go. Okay, let's talk about some of our great people. Again, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Rudy's Barbecue, Ethan Boyd with us this morning. If you want some great barbecue or great turkey sandwich, get out to Ethan's. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. I guarantee you'll love it. You got that big old room, the Lorelei Leighton Hale room in the back. Rudy Tootie's back room is unbelievable. If you want any kind of parties, any kind of get together, heck, anything you can do back there.
Yep. We got a birthday party Friday. We had a baseball team that came in last night for it, so you can use it for anything.
And if you're on one of the sporting groups at Arnold High School, you want us a great place to have a pregame meal. I'm telling you, go try it. You'll love it. Also, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Nobody does a better job than Stevenson Air Conditioning. If you have something break down, it's going to get cold again this weekend, guys. Monday and Tuesday next week's going to be chilly. Lows could be near the 30s. So, hey, if you're having problems with yours working correctly, call Jason. Call Debbie, make an appointment. They'll be out there quickly. They'll solve all your issues. If you got an old air conditioning heating unit, get rid of it. Buy a brand new. It's the only thing you can purchase actually pays for itself. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Greedy. As much of a pain in the neck as he is, and I get that he is, that you hold on to him for dear life for as long as you can. because you will never find another one. In Green Bay, perhaps they are slightly jaded because they went from Favre to Rodgers, and they may think, well, we did this before, we can do it again, no matter how difficult he is. That's my opinion.
Weekday afternoons from 2 till 4. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Have you been to Jin Jin Super King Buffet? It's not your average Jin Jin. Well, here's what you're missing. Jin Jin Super King Buffet has competitive pricing, a great selection, extensive buffet options perfect for family dining. Menu options also include top quality seafood, hibachi and sushi bar, or select their mouth-watering crab legs by order. Bring the family out to Jin Jin Super King Buffet, located next to Wonderworks at 9802 Front Beach Road on Panama City Beach.
Mid-South Lumber has new owners. Stop in and visit Ann and Dave. They're on site every day to make you a priority. They're not the typical big box store, and customer service is their #1 priority. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years. Transform your home with James Hardy Siding. Durability, fire resistant, sustainability. James Hardy Color Plus is virtually maintenance-free and comes with a 30-year warranty. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City.
Your home for college basketball. Powered by Pepsi. WGSX Lynn in Panama City. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Offer Tire and Service Center on Tyndall Parkway in Callaway is your authorized Goodyear and Michelin dealer.
Did you know that brake fluid absorbs moisture over time? Moisture contamination can lower your fluid's boiling point, leading to overheating and poor braking performance. Offered Tire and Service Center. We recommend having your brake fluid flushed every 2 years.
Offer Tire and Service Center on Tyndall Parkway in Callaway. Locally owned for the past 35 years and worth the drive from anywhere.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide. Roll. Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama cranked it up Friday, spring football practice, then they took off. They started practice, and they're going to take off for a while, and they'll get back on it shortly. Alabama Crimson Tide, they hosted a lot of great players junior day. They also had some guys for the 2024 class. I'm going to go over a few. I'm not going to go over all these guys, but I will go over some of them as we get into our Alabama Crimson Tide update. Basketball, we all know they'll be down at Tampa playing. We went over that yesterday. They got Georgia and Vandy, the winner of that game. So hopefully Bama's going to get them at least one win in the tournament. Maybe they get hot, do something special. I kind of think, Jim, it's going to be Auburn and Kentucky myself playing for the championship. And as we all know, Auburn did win the SEC regular season. But Alabama going after the best. The way you win, we can look at Kirby Smart, what he's done in recruiting. They win a national championship. Nick Saban does a better job in recruiting or just as well. And we didn't win it last year. We had a lot of people hurt. We're making excuses again.
Yeah, what's all those excuses?
I'm disappointed in that. Okay, football, you're going to have injuries. Yes, we had a lot of people hurt. Yes, we had a lot of backups in the ball game. Yes, we had some freshman receivers didn't even know where to line up. That's no excuse. We should have won the game. Okay, we got beat by the better team. Georgia was better than us that week, and we just need to say it and go on and forget about it, because down the road, nobody's going to look back and say, oh, Alabama had all their starters hurt. They're not going to say that. They're just going to remember the score.
You're right, they won't.
So it's over. We lost the game. We need to drop it and let it go. Congratulations, Georgia, on a big win. And they had a great football team. As you can see at NFL Combine, they got like 14 guys I think are going to be drafted off this team. And what their defensive linemen did in Pro Day is incredible. Yeah. And we'll talk more about that after our Alabama update. Alabama had one of their linebackers ran a pretty good 40, didn't he?
Yeah, that Christian Harris. I didn't realize he was as fat. I think he was 4'4" something.
Yeah,
he's 6'2", like 220 pounds. Runs a 4'4". Okay.
Great football player.
That's how you get to NFL.
And Alabama's been, wide receiver U. And that's what they're gonna have to find out. We got to find out. we've been wide receiver U for getting in trouble. DUIs, gambling, and everything like that.
Devontae Smith is still good, and Julio's still good. So,
yeah.
And Amari Cooper's going to get cut, but
well, he's going to be wind up with Philadelphia Eagles probably. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
we've had some unbelievable receivers. I think Ohio State's got the really good group coming back
they got
this
some
year.
good ones too.
But that thing's the main thing. Who's going to be the receivers when we get through with spring practice? Who's going to be the stars? That's going to be the big deal. Find out who our starting receivers are going to be. Running back wise, find out who our first 2 running backs are going to be. And offensive linemen, we've got to find out who's going to be the left offensive tackle. Defensively, we got 8 guys coming back. We're in good shape there.
Speaking of offensive tackles, he didn't test. He didn't even go to the combine.
He's going to do it in Tuscaloosa.
Did you see that somebody posted it online the drills he was doing?
Yeah.
The plyometrics.
It's incredible, man.
He's 6'7", 300 something pounds. He's got these. He's between these.
He's about down to 340. He's down.
He's got these boxes, probably about 3.5 feet off the ground. He's standing between them. He jumps up and puts. He does like a split, put 1 foot on one and 1 foot on the other. It's like,
yeah,
this guy's 6'7", 340 something pounds.
Wingspan is
It's
incredible, man. They're talking about he might be the first guy taken in the draft.
I said, holy smokes, that's impressive physically. I mean, like, goodness gracious.
He's going to be another millionaire coming out of Alabama football.
God,
Built by Bama, baby. Built by Bama. 6'6". You know, he was 6'6", 360. He's down to about 340. Looks really good. They had a picture of his shirt off, Evan Neal, and he looked unbelievable.
Yeah,
I mean, he is cut up, looks good.
Good-looking guy.
But defensively, in the secondary, we got to find some DBs, some backup guys. Special teams, we should be really good. We got our field goal kicker back. So this is, Alabama will probably rank preseason number 1. It's going to be either Alabama, Georgia, or Ohio State. I think Alabama will be ranked number 1 preseason. Alabama Junior Day, Alabama offered a couple guys Junior Day. The number 26 overall recruit in the class of 2023, out of Thompson High School, Pete Woods. He attended. I don't know where he's going to wind up going. I know Bama wants him pretty bad. But they were some 2024 players also in the class of 2024 were in T-Town also. 2023 Troy Bowles out of Jesuit, Florida. You ever heard of that school? Jesuit, Florida? Okay.
Yeah, Jesuit,
They are loaded. Another private school down there. Now, the problem with him, his dad is an NFL coach, okay? Troy, his son Troy, Todd is his dad's name. Troy, his son, Jim, this guy is a speedster now. He's got an unbelievable speed. He is an inside linebacker, the number 4 linebacker in the United States. It's going to be between Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State. Let me ask you this. Isn't it amazing?
Suspects.
Yeah, isn't it amazing when you look at the top players in the country, I don't care what position it is, you're usually going to see Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State. I'm seriously.
That's true.
You're starting to see a little bit more and more of Texas A&M, and Texas is now starting to get in there. And Jimbo can say it, what he wants to say. The NIL helps.
Oh, there's no question.
Okay, he was trying to act like it wasn't just that. It's a slap in the face. All these coaches, hard work. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's keep it real. But this guy, I hope we wind up getting this kid as dad again as NFL coach. His dad's that's 3 good programs to send your kid to. Kirby Smart's developing players. Ohio State's getting it done. Alabama's getting guys.
What about, you talk about the offensive linemen, what about those big kids that came from Texas whose daddy played at
they're
Texas?
doing well. They're doing well. And again, we'll go through spring. I think one of them has had a chance, that Parade All-American number 5 star, I think he'll start. And honestly, I forgot his name. I'll get into that later.
It's a German name. Something.
Yeah. His dad was a stud at Texas.
Right.
Yeah, I think he will be one of the starters that's coming up. And that's what I'm saying. We got a couple positions. We got to find out who's going to be the starters, who's going to be the backup. And that's what Nick does a great job of, spring football. All right. Another one, Cabe Jackson, Liberty Magnet School out of Louisiana. Strong downhill running back. He's only, now they say he's really a hard downhill guy, but he's only 5'10", 200 pounds right now. Had 29 touchdowns last year. He's a 4-star overall prospect in the country. He's the 135th best player in the country. Multiple offers. Bama really likes him. Let's see where he winds up going. Hopefully we can get this kid. The Brown kid out of Moss Point, Mississippi. Big kid, big, strong kid. Edge rusher, had 84 tackles, a 4-star. Moss Point used to have, and still does, but they have the tradition since back in the 70s, turning out unbelievable athletes out of Moss Point, Mississippi. They'd gone through years, they won championships. They'd gone through years where they had unbelievable college talent and didn't win championships. but that is known for great high school football. Everybody's after this young guy, but I do like this. He's got a relationship with defense coordinator Golding. He's a great recruiter, man. People talking about we need to fire a defense coordinator. Hold off on all that talk. He's done a pretty good job. The guy knows what he's doing. Saban's more or less the defensive coordinator, really.
Right.
So we don't need to get rid of him, but he does one of the best jobs in recruiting anybody in the country. So he's a great recruiter. Freddie Roach is also in there. That's two of our top recruiters going after this big kid, this big brown kid. Edge rusher out of Moss Point, Mississippi. I hope we get him. Brandon Frazier, I think his name is. Brandon, I screwed his name up. I know the kid's out of Georgia. My writing's bad. He's out of Georgia. He's a cornerback. He's the 39th best corner in the country. Auburn's already offered him a scholarship. Auburn, I think, was the first guy to recognize this kid, a big track guy. So we had him on campus. We're trying to get the kid. St. Roger, I think is his name. 2024 players that are really outstanding football players. They weren't outstanding, they wouldn't be there. They got a kid from California, 6'6", 285. He was offered by Southern Cal back when he was in 8th grade. Preland's the guy's name is. I think it's Art Preland. I could be wrong on that. But he's out of the state of California. Southern Cal offered him a scholarship in 8th grade. Now with Lincoln Riley there, they're going to shut down a lot of this that's gone on where Georgia's gone into California, right. Alabama, get these great Ohio State. Yeah, get these great players. I think that you'll see Southern Cal get up on guys. It's, Alabama's got a shot, but this kid, I think Southern Cal is the guys you got to beat right now. Carter is another kid. Andrew Carter is out of California also. Now, he's not that big, Jim. But remember, it's 2024 class, so I guess they like his frame. 6'4", 240, offensive tackle, really quick. Michigan and Texas have already offered him a scholarship. And I don't know if this is one Alabama offered or not, but he's on the class of 2024. Then you got Daniel Hale out of Meridian, Mississippi. Meridian's always turned out some pretty good players. They got him listed as an athlete, which tells you he could play corner, he could play receiver, he could play running back, multiple positions. They saw some film of the guys, multiple long touchdown runs. LSU, Ole Miss is two schools he likes. Bama's usually done really well in the state of Mississippi in recruiting, so we want this guy. Again, 2024 class, maybe we'll get this young man. But that's just some of them. They had a lot of guys there, went really well. They bring them in, the families. They go in Bryant-Denny Stadium, they talk. Then they take them inside the locker room. They give them their game uniform, the number they wore in high school. Some of them have the name of the jersey on. I think they even have their name on the jerseys. I'm not sure about that. I know some schools do that for recruiting, some don't. But they look good. I saw a lot of pictures of a lot of them posted on social media, them in their Alabama uniform, the mom and dad sent them aside, real happy, big smile. Then you'll see some of the elite ones with Saban that he brings in, talks to. And this is when it really cranks up because they've only got a few guys committed for the 2023 class. I think right now Notre Dame has the number one class. It's way too early. Notre Dame's up there. Ohio State wasn't that high up there. I think Ohio State and Georgia and Alabama all kind of do the same thing. So you'll see those three schools shoot up the rankings as we get into summer. But I'm not worried about Alabama recruiting. It seems like everything's going really good. You got these great facilities at Bama. You got all those national championships. You walk in there with a parent and you see all the money on the board, all those NFL helmets, all the places where the guys are playing at. Then they have a board about how much money the former Bama players are made, built by Bama. It's really impressive. If you've not been over there and seen it, it's really something to see. Well, you can't go in and see it. It's only if you're a high school coach, you got a player they're recruiting, or a parent. Those are the only people to see it. But it's really, really impressive the way Saban is organized and what they do. When we get back, Andy Burcham, all you want to know about the Auburn Tigers will be on the phone with us. Can't wait to get into the Auburn update. But right now, let's talk again about Bay Point Golf. Let's talk about Rudy's Back Beach. And we got also on Back Beach, you got Blue Sky Express Car Wash. You got Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. Don't look right, feel right. Please go see Dr. Ward. Do not put it off. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski. We'll have him here Friday. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, 3 restaurants in one. The pizza, the bakery, the deli, incredible. All right, we'll be right back with the Auburn Tigers. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Good Tuesday morning. I'm forecasting a weather front to come in today and tonight with clouds and showers and maybe a thunderstorm. There'll be some sunshine today near 77 and about 65 overnight. And it looks like the south wind's about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Water temperature in the Gulf is 68. Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms will continue. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents the madness of college basketball. Who will be this year's Cinderella? ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for the NCAA College Basketball Tournament. Sponsored locally by
Panama City Toyota, Ellis Agency Insurance, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Bill Bird Kia, and 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is a true, sad story for ADT, the leader in home security systems. My favorite dog, Oliver, was stolen from our garage recently. If I had a camera system installed in my home from ADT, I would have known exactly what car possibly pulled up in my driveway and stole my little friend. If I had a security system from ADT, my dog would still be here. I called ADT this weekend, and they're coming out in a few days to install a camera and a new security system. Unfortunately, it's a little too late for me. Listen, protect everyone you love in your family. Call ADT now. Have them come out and give you a quote to install a full security system in your home. Don't let it be too late for you. Call right now.
Paid for by the Home Security Hotline. 800-430-4602. 800-430-4602. 800-430-4602. That's 800-430-4602.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What? Eagle! Hey! Our Auburn update. Bay Point Golf, Ron Movie. And now we bring on the voice of the Auburn Tigers, the legendary Andy Burcham. Andy, how are you doing this morning?
Coach, I'm doing very, very well. How are things in Panama City, Pensacola, down on the Emerald Coast?
Well, we're concerned about some wildfires we've got going on the eastern
gracious.
part of
Heard about that.
Yeah, east part of Bay County is in pretty bad shape, and bless their hearts, the same people that had their houses rebuilt now have been burned up. So we're waiting for the rain to get here. Hopefully later today, for sure tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. We're supposed to have wet weather, which is going to really help quite a bit. But thank you for asking. I want to talk to you. What about Gus Malzahn, the head football coach, Central Florida? I didn't realize how close him and Bruce Pearl were. He congratulated him about winning the SEC championship. He said he should be the national coach of the year. I agree with that. Tell us what's going on at Auburn, the celebration, the SEC champ. And by the way, I got to listen to you again when I was out on the road. I did get home in time to watch the last part of the game on TV. Big win at home, 82-71 with South Carolina. Talk about what it's been like to be at Auburn this last couple of days.
Well, it was an extraordinary weekend for Auburn, Coach, because not only did Auburn win an SEC championship and celebrated it in style on Saturday, but Auburn baseball capped off 6 games in 6 days and won all 6 games. Auburn's softball team is on a tear and getting ready to start SEC play. The Tigers have won 10 or 11 in a row now, and have just one loss on the season, and that was to UCLA. And both of the Auburn tennis teams went undefeated this past weekend, so it was an extraordinary weekend for Auburn athletics. Back to Gus and Bruce, it's one of the most interesting friendships I've ever seen, and it is it's a close friendship between the two men. And their personalities couldn't be a whole lot different than they are. You know, Gus is kind of a quiet. I don't know if introvert is the right word, but he's not an outgoing individual. Bruce is just the opposite. And yet they formed a really strong friendship when Gus was at Auburn. And it extends till today. And I think Bruce made a trip down to UCF to watch a game this year.
Wow.
So it's really it's a true friendship between the two. With regard to the Auburn game against South Carolina, Auburn took care of business. Auburn didn't have to worry about sharing the championship with someone else. Had Auburn not won on Saturday, Auburn would not be the number one seed at the upcoming SEC tournament, which I think is very, very important for this team. But Auburn did. Auburn won 2 games last week, beat Mississippi State in overtime there to clinch a share of the championship a week ago tomorrow, and then won the championship outright this past Saturday with that win against South Carolina. And now Auburn is the number one seed and gets ready for either Texas A&M or Florida on Friday morning at noon Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. So it'll be an early start for the Tigers, but Auburn knows that as long as it is alive at the SEC tournament, it will play the first game on Friday and Saturday, and certainly would play the only game, hopefully, on Sunday in the championship game of the SEC tournament.
Andy, let me ask you something. They're going to have to either play Florida, Texas A&M, I believe. When you don't play, when you go that long without playing, are you a little bit rusty at the beginning of the game? I know you rested up. I know you want to get rest and everything, but as a coach, I'm like, you have to win a less game to win the championship. I get all that. But are you concerned at all about them being a little bit rusty, not playing until Friday when you got?
No, I'm not. I'm not, because it'll be the same thing next week in the NCAA tournament. I think that the rest. And remember, Auburn's on spring break right now, so this team's not even in class. So they truly get some time to themselves. They truly get some time to rest up. They truly get some time to heal the bumps and bruises, and for Walker Kessler to work on his left shoulder. So for folks that saw the last 2 games, they saw that he has that brace on his left shoulder. So they have more time to rehab that for him. And listen, they've been playing 2 games a week since before the start of the year. Mm-hmm. And now, and now granted, it'll be 3 games in 3 days. So I think that's why it's more important to have this time off. They'll leave tomorrow for Tampa. They'll get to Tampa, get an opportunity to practice a couple times in Tampa, and then get ready. So while there's some rust that Auburn has to shake off, I doubt that's the case. But I think at this time of the year, and hopefully moving forward now, that time to prepare, that time to rest, that time to heal up is much more important at this time of the season.
Andy, did he say how they're going to handle practice, like go hard Monday, Tuesday, and then back off Wednesday, Thursday, and then the game Friday? Has he even said how he's going to handle practice this week?
Well, I think, typically when they're in class, they have to give the team a day off, right? I mean, it's an NCAA rule.
Right.
When they're not in class, that rule doesn't apply. But I'm not certain, I believe he gave the team Sunday off.
Okay.
Just an opportunity to celebrate, an opportunity to rest up. And they practice, I believe they practiced yesterday. They'll practice again today, and then get on a bus and drive, they'll fly down tomorrow. They're practicing tomorrow morning, and then they will, their practice time in Tampa is a bit limited. They get very little time just to practice at Amalie Arena, but they will go to Amalie Arena and shoot, kind of get used to the surroundings again. Remember, Auburn played there back in November.
Right.
And then they're going to go to another school and practice. So I don't know if they'll practice as much as they typically would, but it's just different because you're not practicing at Auburn, and they'll have practice time. They'll have as much practice time as they need at this point of the season.
Andy, when will you leave to go down there? Will you leave and go with them, or are you going to go down there separately?
I'm going to drive down separate. I want to have my own vehicle down there to get around. I typically get to the game a little bit earlier if I can, just to have everything set up, make sure the equipment's working right, and get settled in. So the team leaves tomorrow afternoon. I'm taking off. I'm going to drive down with my lovely bride, who is going to be on the trip with me, and that's terrific. So we're going to leave tomorrow morning and take the 7-hour drive down to Tampa. My mother has a place in Largo, Florida, so we're going to get a chance to have some time with her tomorrow night, which is also very nice.
That's great, man. Let me ask you this. With spring break, don't you think there'll even be more Auburn people there? With them not
I think there's going to be a great Auburn crowd there. I mean, I've talked to several people that have been looking for tickets for this. Auburn has traveled incredibly well all year. I don't care where it's been. The Bahamas, Tampa earlier this year. There's a big Auburn crowd at that game in Tampa in November. In St. Louis, all of the SEC games. There has been a heavy Auburn presence. And with it being spring break, I think some Auburn families have probably decided, you know what, our spring break this year is going to be Tampa, Florida. There's plenty to do in Tampa. It's a beautiful area. You can get to a beach if you want. Yeah. And there's Busch Gardens and all kinds of great places to eat. And the number 4 team in the country is playing basketball down there and trying to win a championship. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of Auburn people there. Plus, I mean, there's going to be a lot of Kentucky people, Arkansas people, Florida people. I think there's going to be – I think this tournament will be better attended than some actually believe.
Okay. Yeah, you got AP poll. We've already did a little bracket thing here and talk about the games. We kind of feel like it's going to be, at the end of the day, it's going to be Auburn, number 4, versus number 5, Kentucky, for the SEC championship. That's what we think. I know you got to – I don't know if you can comment on that or not, but if you can, what do you think? Do you think that's a pretty good bet?
Well, here's the thing. For Auburn, and Auburn's got to play – Auburn will have 3 tough games to win an SEC championship. You know, we know that. Auburn will have to beat Florida or Texas A&M on Friday. And for Florida, you know, there'll be a lot of Florida people there. It's not that far from Gainesville to Florida or to Tampa. So expect a big Florida crowd there. If Auburn is fortunate enough to win on Friday, on Saturday, it could get Arkansas again, or it could get Alabama again. And those will be 2 very tough games. If it's Arkansas trying to avenge an earlier season loss. Same thing if it's Florida on Friday. And then Sunday, this Kentucky team wants another shot at Auburn. They felt they should have beaten Auburn. They didn't beat Auburn. They didn't have Ty Washington in that game, in the second half of the game here. So they feel that if they're full strength, they've got a better shot to beat Auburn. And perhaps they do, because the game will be played on a neutral site. But here's the thing. This Auburn team won more games on the road in the SEC than any other team this year. It was 6-2 on the road in the SEC this year. It lost at Florida and missed the last-second shot to win it. It lost at Arkansas, missed a last-second shot in regulation to win it, and ended up losing in overtime. And then won 6 other games, including an overtime game at Mississippi State. No team was better on the road than this Auburn team was. And now you don't play road games the rest of the time. It's neutral site games. Every game from now until the end of whatever this is for this Auburn season. And this Auburn team has been very good at neutral site games. It's been very good on the road. I like Auburn's chances.
All right. You heard right here, Andy Bertram. Andy, have a great time down there. I got to let you know now, next Tuesday we'll have a national show. We will not be here next Tuesday. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Be safe traveling. Okay. Look forward to and watching you and listening to you. And good luck to you, and we'll talk to you in about 2 weeks.
James, have a great day. Thank you very much. War Eagle.
War Eagle. Andy Bertram. He is sharp, man. I love that guy. Auburn, Kentucky. That's who I think is going to be for the championship. And I tell you what, man, that big old boy they got at Auburn is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
If Auburn's hot, they can win it all. They really can. They're that gifted. But Bruce Pearl, I wanted to ask him, too, about it. Dang it. I wish we had more time with him. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Bay Point Golf, Ryan Movey does an incredible job. If you love golf, it's only one place to go. That is Bay Point. I guarantee you that. You want to make some money, schedule yourself a golf tournament. Let Ethan Boyd cater it.
That's right.
They'll do a great job for you. Bay Point Golf. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
A working group came up with a plan for a 12-team playoff. Most everyone signed off on it. We'll figure it out. And the possibility of it starting in 2 years was very real. And then this happened. The SEC took refugees from the Big 12, Oklahoma and Texas. The whole thing literally came apart, and we are sitting here today without a college football playoff expansion. The next possibility of it is 2026.
Weekday evenings, 6 to 10, ESPN Northwest Florida.
At Slim Chickens, craft means something. Craft means bacon. And oh, so crispy. Craft means a good cayenne kick. And all-natural buttermilk marinated, made fresh, perfectly fried chicken. All served on toasted brioche buns. At Slim Chickens, craft means quality. And for a limited time, try our new Memphis-style barbecue chicken sandwich. Try Slim's Craft Sandwiches today. Slim Chickens.
Hi, this is Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. In just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself, starting at only $19.99 a month. What are you waiting for? Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
Dr. Chad Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine and joint replacement of the knee, shoulder, and hip. He serves our local athletes and our community. Southern Orthopedic Specialist has been the leader in orthopedic care for over 20 years. New patients are welcome. Call 850-769-KNEE to schedule an appointment. More about Dr. Mitchell and Southern Orthopedic Specialist is available on their website, southernorthopedic.com. Southern Orthopedic, getting you back in the game.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Josephus, baby.
They play this same song at Jim and Judy's wedding. They danced to that, their wedding song. That's pretty good. All right, we are back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest. Well, we got a caller on the line. Who could it be? Good morning.
Go Blues, Truck City Harris represents he's back to what a wonderful night. You know, it was opening night for Panama City Beach baseball last night with the Royals taking on the Nationals. The Royals taking home the W. Kenley was 2 for 2 at the dish. And Deanna did an awesome job coaching. She's the head coach. So shout out to the Royals.
All right.
And I'm on my way back to Eglin. Opening night baseball, baby.
Good
MLB
job.
might not be playing, but our youngsters are playing. That's all I got to say.
Well, thank you for that information. I appreciate that. That was good.
And, hey, Coach Brand, how about those Buckeyes and the Wolverines on Sunday, huh?
Yeah, I've watched Ohio State a few times. I'll be honest with you, I'm not that impressed. I think they're offensively challenged. The thing that agitates me is that E.J. Liddell is supposed to be the best power or one of the best power forwards in America. He takes 9 shots in the whole game. It's like either you need to be more self-aware and shoot the ball a little bit, or set up plays where he can shoot, because they can't score, in my opinion. They play hard, I guess, but
I think he's making excuses. I think he knows what's going to happen. He's making excuses.
No, I mean they split with Michigan this year, 1-1.
Yeah, we were at Little Eddie's baseball tournament in Mariana, and I didn't watch the game. And I was like, so I saw at the end, I was pulling out my phone and get the app, see the scores. I'm like, well, Michigan probably they got blown up by Iowa at home. And I'm like, it's not looking good going down to Columbus. And then I saw they won. I'm like, wow, and they actually beat them pretty good. They were winning, controlled the game. And then I found out, and they didn't play without Hunter Dickinson, one of our best players. And that makes it even more impressive. So I think they're in for the tournament now. So
we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, Missy, I got to ask you a question since we got you on the phone. What do you think about the NCAA declines to address the game penalties for fake injuries? So we're going to have people trying, you got the fast-paced, no-huddle offense. Defense is trying to slow down the game. They get tired. They tell a kid to take a knee, act like you hurt. They stop the clock. They get a little rest. They get regrouped and go on. But on Friday, they announced that they are not going to address that rules right now for the 2022 season. I think it's really got to be careful because somebody actually is hurt.
Yeah.
That's bad. I don't see how they can change it.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard one.
It shouldn't be the honor of a coach not to do that.
You would think.
Well, yeah. No, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's also gamesmanship too, right? So it's a fine line. So, either you got to sell it and make sure it's legit, but you can't be doing it. Like I was watching that, was it an Ole Miss Tennessee game or whatever? Every other play, a defensive player was going down.
Yeah.
It was getting ridiculous. I mean, once in a while, don't make it obvious, gamesmanship, blah, 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 protect, that pace. But, dude, be smart about it. Let's not have a dumb off, you know what I mean? Don't have a dumb off and do it every other play where the fans are mad, everyone knows what you're doing, no one's liking it. Just play the game.
What's it going to
You know what I mean?
What it's going to take is every commissioner of every conference go into a meeting with the head coaches and go, hey, look, we're going to have to stop it. Even though, and they got to be careful because they're going to go, what, you want us to lose a game? That's going to be the response. You want us to lose a game? Well, we need to stop it.
The ones that get me is when you see somebody on defense, this is normally where it happens. He'll just be standing there and just looks awesome. And he just goes down. It's like the James Hale School of Acting. It's like, oh my goodness. It's like not too obvious.
And 2 plays later, he's back on the field.
Grabs his leg.
It's crazy.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have the most problems down here in the South. You don't see it happen too much in the northern school, the colder temperatures, or out west. It's mostly SEC schools, especially Tennessee and Ole Miss.
It just means more. It just means more.
We just know how to cheat better.
Yeah. Hey, now the targeting thing. Now they're going to have. You can appeal that if you get kicked out the second half. You can have it appealed, and they'll look at it and then make a determination if they're going to let them play the first half of the next game or not. Because remember, in the past, you get hurt, you get the penalty say with a minute to go in the half.
And you know what's crazy about targeting? You got to watch NFL games too. Targeting is never called in the NFL. Never.
No, it shouldn't be.
But you watch any college game, I don't care what level, it's going to be like 2-3 a game every game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right, you got anything else for us?
Well, it's football, not ballet. That's all I got to say on that. And I remember the days with Jack Tatum, watching highlights of him and all that.
Jack Tatum was unbelievable. He couldn't play. He wouldn't play. He got kicked out the first quarter.
Ronnie Lott,
Yeah, Ronnie Lott.
Ronnie Lott was another one. I was a 49er fan because the Lions are terrible. That's a good segue. So the Lions, I think, should pick up Amari Cooper because we need someone to complement Amon St. Brown. But what's going on with Alabama football player alumni? First you had Henry Ruggs in that tragic accident in Vegas, and now yesterday, Calvin Ridley is out indefinitely, at least for next year, for betting. But he bet for his own team. It's not like he's betting against his team, or he bet for his team. I know that's frowned upon, but Calvin Ridley, he was one of my favorites. What's up?
Okay, we got a break, Michigan. We can't talk about that anymore. It's break time. No, we already talked about it. Hey,
yeah,
it's stupid.
This, $1,500 to him is like $1 to us, But it cost him $11 million, $11.16 million. What he makes a year. He's not going to be playing next year. He will be back February 13th, 2023. It's just you make a stupid decision. I mean, made a bad call.
But what do you think about Amari going to? I know you said
I think he's going to Philadelphia.
Eagles.
I think he's going to the Eagles.
I don't think so. Why? I mean, Eagles.
Because he got an Alabama quarterback.
They got another receiver there that's pretty good. Devontae Smith and Cooper. That'd be pretty good. That'd be a pretty good combination right there. I'd like to see him with the Eagles. Why would you go to the Lions? Nothing's good out of that state. I don't want Bama players going to Michigan.
Nothing's good out of Pennsylvania either, except for Hershey's candy.
No, I'd love to see him go to the Steelers. That's where I'd like him to go.
Oh, God, don't start with the Steelers.
Oh.
Well, the Lions are always great.
Yeah, Michigan. You get lead poisoning living there.
Hey, that's Flint. But hey, if you want to bite kneecaps, you come to Detroit. I like Dan Campbell as a coach, DC. I think those players played hard all year long. We really did not have one star player on that team.
Everybody loves Detroit. Everybody wants to go there. It's a great town.
Yeah.
Detroit is a great sports town. Don't knock it till you try it,
Great.
pal.
Everybody vacations there quite a bit.
I'm scared to go there.
I think it's more like Disney, going to Disney. Detroit, same thing. Just as safe.
It's a lot better than the 80s. I will give you that. It was bad.
I want to go to that. What's the name of that road up there? They have the big cruise every year.
Crash it? Or Woodward?
Kelsey's Woods.
Yeah, that's it. Woodward Avenue. But I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death to go up there.
All right, Michigan, thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Go,
Unbelievable. Michigan, Eddie. All right, LSU. Can LSU get in the news for something else besides this kind of stuff? Running back coach Frank Wilson accused of sexual harassment by former associate athletic director Sharon Lewis. Now, you got to remember, Sharon Lewis is suing LSU, so keep that in mind. He coached at LSU back in 2010 through 2015 with who? Les Miles. Allegation, he exposed himself to Lewis and asked her to touch his privates. Now, this is all alleged now, okay? He also was alleged to have tried to kiss a different female. So, Lewis has a lawsuit against LSU. LSU says this has never been reported. They hadn't been reported when Les Miles was the coach there. And she is the one that was going after Les when Les was the coach there. And remember all that kind of stuff Les was going through. But LSU officials, no evidence. There was no evidence of any allegations has ever been reported to us before now. So if this is true, why did she not report it back then? Why is she waiting? Because he came back and now is coaching LSU again? Is that the reason? That's kind of strange.
I don't know.
Yeah. He was coaching last year at McNeese State from 2020, 2021. He comes back to LSU, and now she goes after him. And that's the only thing I question. And we don't know. Nobody knows what the truth is. I know if she's suing LSU, this kind of helps the lawsuit, I would think.
Yeah, it does. I would sure think so.
Yeah, but why would she not have reported it back when it happened?
A lot of times that stuff doesn't go reported when it happens. I mean, that's not an unusual scenario at all, where they don't press charges right away. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how it plays out. Just something else. I'm sure Coach does not want to be doesn't like the idea. Just hired somebody and he's got to deal with this as the season gets going. LSU is one of the elite jobs in college football. They all get on the same page. Watch out. The last three coaches have won national championships. I do think that he'll win a championship at LSU. I really do. I would like to say hello to Coach Phil Cobb, one of the finest coaches we've ever had in the history of Bay County. And he just goes, she's going after him. Women love money. Thank you, Coach Phil Cobb. Was he not one of the top guidance counselors for 30 years in the state of Florida? I mean, he did an unbelievable job at Lake Wales, getting people just in colleges. He took care of the athletes at Lake Wales and Polk County. He had the same responsibilities at Arnold High School back when we opened up. All the athletes would go through there, and he was making sure they were taking the proper core classes to get a scholarship. Behind the scenes, did a lot of great things for a lot of different kids. Truly a blessed individual.
Yep, he is.
Philip P. Cobb. I was talking about some of our great sponsors. Man, it's gone by fast today, Jim Bob. Really fast. We get back. There's one thing that one school is better than any other school, and we'll tell you what that is. It's not Alabama. What shocks me, it's not Alabama. Let's talk about J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive, the best seafood, coldest beer. I'll be there today at 11 o'clock. Come by and say hello. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Nobody does it better. Jason, I hope you're feeling better. He's been had a little procedure done, been down a little bit. Hopefully he's doing well now. Stevenson Air Conditioning #1, just like Buffalo Rock, just like Chuck Tucker. South Oak Title and Closing. Dr. Chad Mitchell, a legend, Jim. Every Monday, Chad's in here. He'll be here next Monday running the show. Chad does an incredible job. Give him a call. Southern Orthopedics, Chad Mitchell. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN. Hit me!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your radio home for live and local sports coverage. for the most high school and college sports from right here in our local area. It's the Coach James Hale Show, weekday mornings 7 till 9. Then the ride home is alive and kicking with the afternoon underdogs, covering the gamut of sports. Plus, the radio home for the defending world champion Atlanta Braves. Your local sports station is ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Tuesday morning. I'm forecasting a weather front to come in today and tonight with clouds and showers and maybe a thunderstorm. There'll be some sunshine today near 77 and about 65 overnight. And it looks like the south wind's about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Water temperature in the Gulf is 68. Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms will continue. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right, he has over 30 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within 2 business days, so don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into new settings and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 45 years.
The original J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive, Panama City Beach, serving Bay County and visitors from the U.S., Canada, and around the world since 1976. A little Southern, a little Creole, and a lot of hospitality. Come enjoy J. Michael's Seafood Platter, red beans and rice, the best gumbo on the beach, and the world-famous spaghetti night on Wednesdays. 3210 Thomas Drive, J. Michael's Restaurant.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. They did a survey. Survey found that college football best helmets, these are 20 top helmets in college football. They've got broke down the best stadiums, the best uniforms. Now they've got the best helmets. And this is the recent, came out last week. So let's look at this. Clemson came in at number 23. We got a lot of Clemson people that live around here, so I know some that love Clemson. So Clemson came in at 23. I actually thought Clemson would be higher. I like Clemson's helmet. I think it looks pretty good. The Auburn Tigers, which I love their uniforms, I love their helmet, they came in at number 22. Surprised me. But what about the Georgia Bulldogs? They didn't even make the top 20. Georgia came in at 21. Is that a lot of hating going on Georgia? I like Georgia's helmet. I like that.
Georgia's got great uniforms.
Yeah, I like their uniform. I like their helmets. You all know it's Georgia.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
back in the day, I used to love USC's uniforms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Southern Cal had some beautiful uniforms.
Pretty helmet. Yeah, I agree. But you always knew, like Auburn, you know who Auburn is. They don't change. You knew who Georgia is. They don't change that helmet. Clemson, I don't remember Clemson. They've always been the same. I like this. But here are your top 20, and everybody knows number 20, and it looks pretty good, I guess. NC State came in at number 20. I was surprised at that one. I was surprised that Auburn and Georgia would not be in the top 20. 19 was the Oklahoma Sooners. I like Oklahoma's helmet, the white K's, the red helmet. I like Oklahoma's helmet. I do. You okay with it? Are you okay with it, Randy?
Simple but good.
Yeah, I like it. Number 18, Tennessee Volunteers. Okay, but sometimes they'll wear that gray. Sometimes I like tradition. Let's keep it the same. It looks okay. White with the T. Okay, no problem with Tennessee. Iowa, I do like Iowa's helmet. Number 17 is Iowa.
Because they look like the Steelers.
Thank you very much. And we copied the Steelers at Southern Mississippi back in the day.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
So we're kind of like that. I like Iowa's. Number 16, North Carolina. They've worn a white helmet. They've worn that powder blue, whatever you call it. I don't know if I like that color or not.
Yeah, they kind of come and go with their uniforms.
I wouldn't have them in there. I'm sorry. I would not have them in there. Would you? I don't like that color. No, I wouldn't either. Brian goes to Tennessee. I knew that'd get Brian going. Number 15, Louisville. Now, Louisville runs that chrome They do a bunch of different. They got chrome.
Yeah, they got red, white, black, silver. Yeah.
I kind of.
I wouldn't put Louisville. That's just me.
Okay, you don't have Louisville. All right, number 14, Pitt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have Pitt in there.
The old-time Pitt uniforms, they kind of went back to them this year, I think are pretty good. Like when Dan Marino and Tony Dorsett played, with the yellow helmet with the Pitt on. That's pretty
that was
good.
okay. But then
they've changed a lot, too. They got those dark navy blue helmets.
Right.
Nah.
I'm going to say Pitt's out because they changed it. Now, I do like this one. Number 13, the Florida Gators. Now, some people like the white better than the orange. I like the orange. I like what Spurrier did. I like the blue
orange
jerseys.
Helmets or the orange
orange
We're talking about helmets.
Yeah, they'll wear the white ones too.
Yeah.
The white looks pretty good. But I still like what Spurrier when he had the white pants, blue tops, and the orange helmet. I thought that looked sharp.
Yeah.
I do believe they need to be in their top 10, but they got them 13. Well, the Florida blue, do you like the orange? Do you like the white helmet?
I like the orange ones.
What about you? Orange or white?
Orange.
Okay, good. We're all on the same page.
Orange.
Number 12, here goes another school you never know what they're going to wear, and that's Oregon. They're silver, they're orange, they're yellow, they're white, they're black. They've had everything.
Yeah.
I'd say no.
That's all recruiting on their part.
Yeah, I don't like it, but other people do. Number 11, I do like their helmet, but I like their red helmet, and that's Arkansas. What do y'all think? I like it when they wear them.
I wouldn't put down.
Red. You wouldn't do it?
Nah.
Okay, no Arkansas for you. Number 10, I know you'll like this, Southern Cal. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Number 10, everybody
Southern
knows
Cal's
Southern
always
Cal.
had good-looking uniforms.
That
Very
helmet,
unique.
you know who they are. I like that. Number 9, I do like this one, FSU. I do like the spear. I like the gold helmets. I like that.
Yeah, they've in my opinion, they've changed too much. Take one look and just stick with it. Everybody knows who
stay
they are.
with what Bobby gave you. Yeah, I don't like when they change their uniforms and all that kind of stuff. I like the traditional FSU uniform, but I do like their helmet. Number 8, LSU. I like LSU.
Yeah.
LSU looks good.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it looks good. And I do like this. Some of you won't like this. I really like it. Number 7, Texas. White cage, white helmet with the burnt orange longhorn. I kind of like that. It's simple.
They've had that one forever.
You know who they are.
Yeah.
You know who. When Texas helmet, you know who it is, and everybody knows this one, and you got to give them credit. They don't change it. It looks good, I guess. I hate doing it, Michigan Eddie, but Michigan came in at number 6.
Yeah, they've had those forever.
You know who Michigan is.
Now he's going to call again.
Well, don't answer.
Do you know the reason why they went to the stripes?
No.
The reason why they did it way back in the day is they could film, but it's easier for them to see with because it's all those leather helmets and everything. Everything was that same yuck color, so they could see better on film.
Well, they're different than anybody else in college football. Michigan, everybody knows they are.
University of Delaware used to wear them like that too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wing T
Blue
guy.
hands.
Yeah. Number 5, Alabama Crimson Tide. You all know who when Alabama walks in the field, you know it's Alabama.
That's true.
I thought I'm disappointed that they're not number 1 or 2. I really am, and I think it's political. That's okay. We'll stay at number 5. Number 4, the Miami Hurricanes. White helmets.
There's one out there that you haven't named yet that I can't believe is not on the list.
Well, we're not done yet. Miami. What do you think? You like it?
I like the Miami white
I
ones.
like Miami. The white helmets, Miami, I do too. Number 4, I can live with that. Number 3, Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's the one I was waiting on.
Number 3, everybody knows the Golden Dome, the Golden Helmets. You know it's Notre Dame. Do I like it? I'm not saying I like it, but we know who they are.
Yeah,
they keep
instantly
it the same.
recognizable. That's for sure.
I'm okay with it. And number 2, I thought Bama's looks better than theirs. I really do. But number 2, Penn State.
It's a white helmet with a blue stripe.
That's
yeah.
At least we had numbers.
You know what it is? If you think about it, Alabama and Penn State had the exact same helmet, just different colors
and uniforms, more or less.
Yeah.
Bama's got the numbers. And see, Penn State has
Penn State's got the numbers, don't they?
No. There have been at times in the past where they did, but now they don't know. They don't
when
know.
Joe was there, it was real basic. They don't even have stripes down their pants.
No, they had nothing.
Yeah, now Bama does. They have their stripes.
It's like a practice uniform.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Well, it saves you money. But anyway, Penn State. But I will say this: when Penn State goes in the field, you know who Penn State. What I love about Penn State, they don't change it up.
No,
they are tradition. Now the number 1 helmet in college football, which I think they should be disqualified,
But when they wear their number one helmet, it looks good, and that's the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Ohio State came in at number one. I do like their traditional helmet. I hate.
Oh, I don't like the black ones
the
either.
black. I don't get it. Alabama doesn't do it. They got plenty of money. Ohio State's got plenty of money. They don't. They do it.
Yeah.
They change their uniform up, and
A few
everybody in the
times.
country knows who Ohio.
Yeah.
When Ohio State wears their traditional white white jerseys, and their white uniforms, when they wear their home uniforms, everybody in the country knows who they are.
Yeah.
When they do
instantly
this other
recognizable.
crap, I'm serious. I don't know what it is. I think Urban's the first one that did it. I
Yeah.
think. When I saw that, I was like, what is this? I want to see Ohio State. I want to see the Woody Hayes Ohio State. I don't want to see the Urban Meyers different color uniforms. They have black helmets. Didn't they wear black shirts one time?
There was one time they were all black, and then he had another one that was like dark charcoal gray.
Just gray. Yeah. I don't get that.
I'm like, you're preaching to the choir. I don't like them either.
And then in baseball, Yankee pinstripes.
I tell you, the one that surprised me that's not on there. I've always loved the uniforms. Is UCLA. I think they have awesome uniforms.
Yeah, they didn't even get mentioned.
UCLA's got a good. Yeah.
See, I'm different. I don't like that. I don't like that gold. That what color is that? That powder blue.
It's kind of a little bit darker than North Carolina.
Yeah,
blue.
it is.
But
It
the
is.
helmets are good. You know, it's gold helmet with the UCLA on the side. I always thought that looked sharp.
But you definitely know who they are.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
when
definitely know who
play.
they are.
All right, that's what we got for you today. Tomorrow, Dr. Ward will be here. We'll have Mark McLeod, everything you need to know about Florida Gator football. And then Thursday, Jeremy Pridgett, Tommy. Friday, Fun Friday with Jim Brandt and the gang. Baseball cranks up tomorrow. The SEC tournament down Tampa is the first game, so tomorrow we'll get into all that kind of stuff. But this afternoon, you got old school Boston Tea. Big Dave will be in there. They do a great job. The underdogs. They'll have everything you need to know about what's going on in the country for us athletics. And then you got Paul Feinbaum every day from 6 to 10 right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Are we out? 1 minute? You stopped me. You made me stop too early. I need to talk about some. Give me time to talk about some of our great people then. Like Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Dr. Chad Mitchell will be here Monday, does a great job. He's been taking care of gym athletes for 22 years on Bay County sidelines. And get out and watch a baseball game tonight and this week. If you got a high school game being played, go watch them play. Go support these young men. They are working extremely hard. The coaches do a wonderful job. We're going to get a state championship out of this group this year, I do believe.
Go get your car washed at Blue Sky.
Yeah, look brand new. Watch out for Bozeman. I think Bozeman got a shot to win a state championship this year.
That'd be cool if they
I really
did.
do. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Northwest Florida. Keep saying it. Yeah. Northwest Florida.
103, 104.3.
All right. Elvis, go watch the Elvis movie out in June. We're out. 104.